down your street at midnight, see your face in the passing lights, making me wonder how you're doing. It's been a few years since I've seen you laying down on the bed in my room. It's making me feel so stupid, 'cause you were the one thing I knew that I couldn't lose, and I let just slip past me, and now I'm doomed. If you would only give me another second chance, I could make things right. Yeah, we could do it over again. Over again. And again. Do it over again. Again. And again. Yeah. We could do it over again. Did you think I really leave you lonely? If you feel the same, then come and show me. If you really want this all to last, we can leave everything behind in the past.
Alright, I think that is enough time for getting prepared. So, wow, I am super late to this. I meant to stream this like a few hours ago actually, and I just never really got enough time to, so let's see. And we see, oh, there it is.
It's been a few years since I've
Yes,
seen
well, come on in. Welcome to Mystic, Scythe. You two were the first ones here. Thank you so much. Heckin' beans. That's a name I haven't seen in a long while either. Brokachno. Oh no, Brokachno. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting how to pronounce your name every time I see you. I am super sorry for that. But yes, well, come on in. The blood welcomes you. Okay, so Echo. I forgot what chapter. Oh no, we completed Carl, Leo, and TJ, and now I think what we did was we were gonna go with Flynn, and then man, what's her name? It's been a while. Yeah, we're gonna do Flynn's route first, and then Jenna's route last. That's what her name was. I'm stupid. So yeah, let me get the game loaded up. And I moved everything over from my old laptop, so I have no idea how this is gonna work. Okay. Oh man, I miss this menu theme. It's like the more and more that I listen to this, and the more and more I miss it. Okay, so because we can actually run it now, we're gonna go widescreen. Okay, yes, that does work. Okay, good. Oh shit. Okay, I gotta remember. Cardio. Did I? Wait, hold on. Uh, Wait, hold on. Shit, what did I do? I think it's the fifth one? Okay. It's been a while and I moved all my saves over from my old laptop, so I have no clue what is what right now. Also, if you guys can hear the game music just fine, then let me know. I also just realized, hold on a minute. This support I think should probably go up here because I did notice excuse me. I did notice that um for whatever reason the fourth horizontal support does not work. So we're gonna move this one here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, yeah, so I think this one I did it by mistake. We do have the option of Jenna there, so I'm probably gonna go back to that one after. Um, I'm probably gonna go back with Jenna and see. Okay, yeah, so third one is gonna be the Jenna one. I looked back at Flynn as he winds his way down the trail towards the road. I sigh angrily, starting towards him. Chase, I wouldn't. Someone's gotta talk sense into that idiot. He thinks he could just get away with this shit? You know how he is. I keep walking. He's moving pretty slow, so it's easy to catch up with him. He's got his hands jammed in his pockets as he walks along, his head down. Oi, Flynn! He jerks his head up, then looks back around at me. He's chewing on a toothpick, which he promptly pulls out of his muzzle. The hell? The fuck you think you're doing, Chase? Go back. Yeah, right. You think you could just walk away from me after saying shit like that? He stops walking and turns around fully to face me. I step up right beside in front of him, just a few feet away. He looks at me over and for some reason I can see a smile threatening to crack his face as he tries to keep it hidden. Yeah? And what are you gonna do about it? I shrug. Talk? We were having a good time. Why'd you have to go and turn everything good? He suddenly steps up close, thrusting his chest out into me. It hits me around the neck and I stumble back. Not in the mood. He sticks the toothpick back in his muzzle before he turns around and starts walking away again. Go back to the river so you can all talk about what an asshole I am. What? I watch him go for a bit. I'm not too worried about Flynn actually beating me up. I'd annoyed him pretty bad before, but he hasn't ever actually hurt me. At least, not maliciously. On top of that, he'd have Leo to answer to if he ever did anything like that, and he knows how that would end up. Still, he did look pretty angry when he stepped towards TJ, more than I'd ever seen him probably. Now might not be the best time to do this. Huh. Do we turn back, or do we... We're gonna do the classic... What if we go back? Definitely not worth it. I really don't want to make things worse than they already are. I sigh watching the broad shoulders of the Ghibelline get smaller and smaller before I turn back. One of the others probably need my company more than Flynn. Oh, okay. So with that, so that makes us not go the Flynn route. Screw him. Once again, he thinks he's the act of an asshole just so he can brush off whoever he doesn't want to talk to. Well, I'm about to show him exactly why that doesn't work when he's a stubborn it's a stubborn otter he's up against. Oh wow, this is so much better than what I saw last time. Yeah, I'm hoping that now with my new laptop and it can actually run stuff, um I'm a bit more expressive and hopefully the stream is a lot better too. Hey Miss Claw, how's it going? Welcome on in. The Black welcomes ya. How's it going, buddy? Hope you're having a awesome night. Start following again, doing a little jog to catch up. This time Flynn hears me and whirls around, pulling the toothpick out of his mouth again. Your ears are filled with water? I said fuck off. I flinch a little under his yelling, but I square my shoulders and walk up to him, standing my ground. Now I'm only 3 feet away. Or what? You gonna hit me? Took the day off of work. I'm a tired wolf. Ah, yeah, I can relate to you being tired. Yesterday I planned to stream Echo as well, but I was too tired out of my mind. B, I'm glad that you're here with us. It's gonna be like for TJ's route, to be on. Not TJ, Flynn's route. Go on, try it. I look him in the eye and immediately know I have nothing to worry about. This is Flynn, after all, one of my best friends. Whether or not he'd ever admit it to our little group is family, no matter how many stupid fights we get into. He's trying to scare me though, with the way he's leaning over me, glaring. I just smirk up at him, and pretty soon I see his facade crack. He slumps down, letting out one massive sigh, deflating like a life-size lizard balloon. Fucking otters, what do you want? I want you to stop being a I want you to stop being a dick. Flynn looks right back at me and glares, some of the posturing coming back. What? Oh Christ, you heard me. That is not a good thing to say to me right now. Flynn starts leaning over me again and I lean right back, almost bumping muzzles. Yeah, well, everything you said back there was not a good thing to say. I see the corner of one of his eyes twitch. In my opinion, Flynn and Jenna's roots are the peak of this game. Really? Okay. I I actually forgot if Flynn's ending has one or two or Jenna's ending has one or two. It's been a while, so I have no clue. I've forgotten almost everything for their roots ahead of time, but I do remember everything from the past. We're so close that I can smell the beer on his breath. I see that smirk tug at his muzzle again. Coming in for a kiss. He presses even closer and I feel my muzzle flush, but I'm not backing down. I see how it is. You're bored with Leo, now you want some lizard. No, I just want an explanation. Jenna says Tuflin has one. Okay, got it. He raises a brow and leans back a little. Of why you being such a dick and when we're all supposed to be having fun. Excuse me, I had to sneeze. Actually, I think I know exactly what this is. You're trying to prove me wrong. Well, being an obnoxious twit doesn't suddenly mean you've got a personality. Anyway, they told me to speak my mind, so I did. He turns away again and starts walking. I quickly catch up and start walking alongside him. That's not an answer. Besides, even if something's true, doesn't mean you have to point it out in the middle of everyone's vacation. Flynn keeps walking, opting to glare at the dusty trail. Do you really think I'm just looking to bone all of you? I'm not. Flynn laughs, and for once, it's not cynical. It's genuine. I think what you're doing right now isn't helping your case, Chase. What? I'm just trying to figure out what the hell is wrong with you, Flynn. My phone buzzes and I pull it out. Are you okay? It's a text from Leo. Everything's fine and I'm just trying to talk to Flynn. Flynn snorts right in my ear, making me jump. I jerk my phone away as I realize that he's been reading over my shoulder. What? Wolfie boy thinks I'm gonna clock you for being annoying? You almost hit TJ. Almost. At this point, we're walking along Lake Emma Road, the trail that winding between it and the reservoir itself. There's a little guardrail on the lakeside, but it's rusty, and I seriously doubt that it would ever stop any car from going over the lake. Another 10 minutes and we'll reach the motel. My phone buzzes again as I get a response from Leo. If he does anything, call me. Flynn sighs again. He stops and I turn to face him. He looks sad for once, staring hard at the ground. I just sort of blacked out for a second. I was angry. That's what murderers say after they kill their exes. Jesus, Chase. Well, okay, I fucked up. Yeah, no shit. It's just something that's been fucking with me ever since it happened. He's not telling the truth. Flynn looks up at me sharply. You know he isn't. Flynn's staring at me hard, as if he's looking for something, and this time I do look away. Well, what if he is? No, you saw him right after it happened, how scared he was, how he couldn't look at any of us. I have no idea what to say. Flynn never talks about this. Oh? Who did the follow? Dragon Bussy is my very creative name. I love it. I love it though. Dragon, welcome on in. The black welcomes you. I hope you're having an awesome night. I hope you remember the end of TJ's route. Yeah, so it turns out that we're the freaking killer. So technically we've killed one person in our lifetime. And then the second was Flynn in TJ's ending. Before today, the last time I'd heard him mention Sydney was like 6 years ago. It just really fucked me up. I, Ooh, sorry, I had a major sneezing fit for a second. And we thought that we could just come back to this stupid fucking lake. He kicks his foot across the ground towards the reservoir, some pebbles falling over the steep drop and plopping into the water. It fucked us all up, but Flynn most of all. Like, Flynn, maybe something did happen, something that he didn't want to tell us. But it's TJ, you know what kind of person he is. That's what makes this so fucking shitty. But we were kids, he was like 10 years old, we're different people now. Looking behind Flynn, I see Leo's van coming up the road. Flynn waits for me to go on, but sees me looking back and so does himself. Oh, wait, and does so himself. I'm stupid. As soon as he sees the van, he folds his arms and turns his head to look out across the lake. As it pulls up alongside us, the window rolls down and I see Jenna in the passenger seat, Leo next to her. Hey, we're heading back. Wanna get in? Flynn doesn't say anything, instead choosing to continue staring at the lake. I decide that it's probably a good idea for me to walk with him, instead of making him do it alone. No, that's alright. We're just talking. Leo shifts his gaze to Flynn, studying him before turning back to me. Alright, just text me later, okay? Okay. The window rolls back up as the van pulls away, kicking up some dust from the roadside as it does. I turn back to Flynn, who's still looking at the lake, chewing slowly on his toothpick. That's when his stomach growls so loudly that it almost makes me jump. I snort and Flynn fixes me with a glare. What? I didn't get to eat. Neither did I, which is your fault. Flynn grunts and keeps walking up the trail toward Echo, the town's windows and rusted sides glinting in the desert haze. I skip up alongside him. Hey, why don't we go to the diner? It's just a few minutes away. Flynn grimaces. I can't eat that shit anymore. What? When's the last time that you ate there? A few years ago. Wow. What do you eat then? Flynn laughs. I gotta pay them where they actually have grocery stores. Hey, demonic, welcome on in. The bluff welcomes you. Hope you're having an awesome evening, or day, or night, or whatever time zone that you're in. Welcome to Scary Story Night. I meant to stream this earlier today, but things got in the way. So, you know, just putting this out there, dragons don't actually have gender. I mean, but Flynn is a lizard. Why didn't you announce the stream in the Discord? I'm pretty sure that it. I'm pretty sure that there was a mention in the Going Live channel, right? Yeah, there's yeah, there is one here. No, you're not dumb. I'm dumb for starting late, and no, I'm not adorable. Oh, okay. A few moments of silence pass before Flynn speaks up again. I guess it wouldn't hurt to eat there again, for old time's sake. As we walk into the diner, my senses are assaulted by nostalgia. Everything looks and smells the same, from the faded patched stools to the smell of burgers and fries. I'm not. I will fight you back. Bet. I'll fight you. Out of habit, I start walking towards the corner booth, the one that we always used to sit at. Where are you going? Huh? I look back at Flynn, who's standing near the counter, looking ready to sit on one of the stools. Oh, come on, Flynn, those are uncomfortable. Besides, it'll be easier to talk. Some of the patrons are starting to look up from their meals. Flynn looks around, clearly embarrassed, then shoves his hands into his pockets, making his way over to me. Fine. I slide into the booth, into my usual spot on the right-hand side. Usually Leo would sit next to me. You're more derpy than a door. Derpy? Possibly. Dumb? Very. Angy? Very. Silly? Maybe. Flynn sits opposite to me, leaning back with his eyes that are half open. Tired? Yup. I wait for him to elaborate, but he doesn't go on. Were you up late? Flynn reaches up and rubs his eyes. Yeah. The long breath he takes before he says that tells me that he's starting to get annoyed, so I drop it. Luckily, that's when Janice, the old diner waitress, comes over to our table. Chase, my goodness, what are you doing here? Hi, Janice, just doing a school project. Oh, really? I wonder what sort of school it might be here for you. I'm actually just getting some film of the town. Flynn's covering both his eyes with his hands now, as if that's going to make him invisible. And you, Flynn, can't say I've seen you at all recently. Flynn makes a low grunting sound, not taking his hands away. Janice keeps talking though, unfazed. Well, anything you'd like to drink while you're deciding on your meal? Piss you Oh man. I wonder when we're gonna see that this in this pathway. I think like in every single pathway we've seen this already. So I'm wondering too. Chase? Oh, we actually have choices here. Water, Coke, root beer float, or strawberry shake. Huh. I always go for a Coke, so why not? I'll have a Coke. Sure thing. Flynn does move his hands at this point and looks at me. His expression is odd, like he wants to say something. I look back and raise my brows, but he just shuts his muzzle and looks out the window. Alright, I'll be right back with you. As Janice moves on to some other patrons, I look back at Flynn. Were you gonna say something? Flynn shakes his head, folding his arms on the table and hunching forward. No. Somehow his mood is even darker than it was earlier. I sigh, frustrated. It's so damn hard to understand Flynn. His mood swings are absolutely ridiculous. I lean back and fold my arms, scowling. What? You know exactly what. I'm trying to be friendly here. Flynn shrugs, a bewildered expression on his face. I don't know what to say, Chase. It's been a shitty day. I don't say anything and just look out the window like Flynn. Again, there's tense silence between us. I just listen to the clatter of the silverware from the two other people in the diner, along with the old rockabilly music playing over the crackly speakers. Finally, Flynn sighs. I decide that's a signature expression like Carl's shrug. Sorry, I'm just... Like I said, it's been a shitty day. It's fine. That's when Janice brings over our drinks before taking a note back to our orders. Alright, what'll you have? A tuna melt, onion rings. Uh-huh. And you, Chase? Wow, we actually have choices here. I'm gonna go with the bacon. The bacon cheeseburger sounds good. Alrighty, and what do you have on the side? You know what, hold on. Hold on a minute. I wonder what happens if we get like exactly the same stuff that he gets. Tuna melt and onion rings. What? Len keeps squinting, his face incredulous now. Do you really not? He doesn't finish and instead shakes his head. Never mind. It doesn't change it. Wait, actually? Hold on. Because if not, then I'm an idiot. Fries, please. Flynn is staring at me in his... Okay. Okay, I'm an idiot. I thought there was gonna be special dialogue if like we chose the same stuff as him. Seriously? You're kind of freaking me out. Flynn chuckles and it covers his eyes again, rubbing. Which is intentional? I mean, I guess it makes sense because Flynn only has one ending here. Same. What the hell is he talking about? I'm opening my mouth to ask again, but he cuts me off. Listen, I got the day off tomorrow. Do you want to do something? I stare at him, at a loss for words. First he's acting like a complete douche, then he tells me I'm scaring him, and now he's inviting me to hang out with him? Is he, what do you call it, bipolar? I, I guess. Alright, I'll come by sometime afternoon. Maybe with Carl. He doesn't do shit, so he should be free. Okay, I guess I could use a break from working on the project for a bit. Flynn goes on to tell me that he and Leo often go out to fish on their days off, and that it's actually a lot of fun. It has nothing to do with the endings, but Flynn's reaction you'll see later. Okay. I'm still trying to get used to the shift in conversation when Janice shows up with our food. Flynn stares down at his giant greasy sandwich while I take a bite out of mine. Fuck, I'm gonna regret this. Why? Tastes great. Well, you're lucky. This kind of food fucks up my stomach. Do you make your own food? Yep. I snort and Flynn looks up sharply. Sorry, it's just hard to imagine. Hey, I'm a real good cook. I guess the expression on my face is showing that I don't buy it because he smirks back at me. Fine, sometime this week you're coming over. I'll show you then. I shrug, even though I feel like I've won some kind of secret battle that we're having. Deal. Flynn pulls me over the rocks and boulders. I stumble along trying to keep my balance. Flynn's insistent though, almost angry. We reach the edge of the lake and he throws me down. I stare at the wet sand then back up at Flynn. He points and tells me to dig. I start digging. I don't know what I'm looking for. I ask, but Flynn doesn't say anything. Water keeps filling the hole and it's hard to keep sand from sliding back in. Finally, I reach in deep and someone grabs my paw. I stay like that for a long time. Jesus, okay. Tuesday. How does this look? Carl dangles the lure in front of himself, bouncing it around. Flynn squints at me incredulously. I'm pretty sure that his muzzle would be hanging open if he didn't have a toothpick in his mouth. Jesus fucking Christ, Carl, what is that? What? Carl has tied the spinner in a giant ugly knot, the string sticking out in every which way. This is why I told you to fucking wait. I guess Carl had gotten impatient and decided to tie his own lure while Flynn helped me out with mine. Turn down the volume a bit. Flynn takes out a knife from his pocket and takes the spinner from Carl, scowling. I'd throw this away if I didn't have so fucking few of them. What's wrong with you, Carl? Carl shoves his paws in his pockets as he watches Flynn struggle with getting the knot fixed. I don't see what's the big deal. I don't see what the big deal is. Yeah, I'm noticing that too. I'm trying to find like a good balance for this, because there are a few times when like some songs in Echo will be like super unbalanced. And like the rest of the OST is like completely fine in terms of volume, so I apologize for that. I don't see what the big deal is. It's attached, isn't it? He looks at me and grins, shrugging his shoulders. I shrug back. You made it so fucking big it's not gonna spin right. Flynn's muttering angrily under his breath, squeezing his forearms to his chest as he tries to keep his fingers steady. Carl rolls his eyes and looks over at me and grunts. And grins. Why we gotta fish with these when we got an otter with us? I'm willing. That's not the point. Flynn almost growls, prodding and poking at the messy knot. It's about relaxing and how Chase is gonna relax swimming around the whole time. He finally seems to get a handle on the mess and starts tugging out the line. And how am I gonna relax with you fucking everything up? The line finally drops away from the spinner. That's what I get for bringing a pothead along. Hey, I'm straight right now. Flynn snickers. You sure about that? Carl rolls his eyes again. Ask Chase. I sit in a rock as I slowly reel my line, watching the spinner glisten under the water. Why are you asking me? You have, what's it called? Gaydar? Is the idea that everyone has it? He doesn't respond as Flynn starts showing him how to actually tie the line. I come up empty and cast the line out again, listening to the clicking whir of the reel before the spinner lands with a plop in the middle of the pond. I was wondering where Flynn would get to the fish since we wouldn't go to Emma, obviously. Turns out he and Leo found this pond 20 minutes outside of town, deep in the wilderness. Unsurprisingly, no one comes here, which is why Flynn says the fishing is good. There's definitely something calming about being out in the middle of nowhere, especially with the repetitive motions of the fishing to keep you occupied. Why is it that every time I play Echo, like my allergies kick in and they just say, you know what, it's time for a sneezing fit. Heck. I am so sorry. Okay, I am sorry about that. For whatever reason, my mic likes to do that, which I find super, super annoying. So that is on my bad. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. But Justin, welcome on in. The Blep welcomes you. Thank you so much for the follow. Hope you're having an awesome night. B. Let's keep going with some echo. Flynn sighs before walking up next to me, watching as I reel in much slower. I feel a little self-conscious with the way he's standing over me, wondering if I'm doing something wrong. Sure enough, he steps forward, his chest up against my back as he grips the pole. Grab it above the reel post. Here. He holds the rod, then grabs my paw and slides it on the pole. That way you can really grip it when you catch something. He's right up against my back. His arms are wrapped around me. I swallow and I try to focus on the pole. Why did my mic do the thing where... Okay, never mind. It's working now, so... Alright. I hear him give a low chuckle in his throat as I glare. Of course he knows what he's doing right now with my paws on the pole. He's probably rubbing in what he said yesterday. Justin, I am not cute. I'm not cute and I never will be. I am not cute. No. I decide to respond by sliding my tail up inside of his leg and I feel him shift against me, his chuckle turning into a grunt of surprise. What the hell are you guys doing? Flynn lets go of the pole and steps back as Carl watches us, his face screwed up in exaggerated disgust. Showing him how to fish. Now it's your turn, fatty. Carl pauses on his reeling. It's not like we haven't done this before. Plus, I don't know if I want to feel your cloaca on my ass. Too bad. I focus back on fishing, still feeling a little warm from the close encounter I just had with Flynn. No, I'm not cute. I'm not cute and I never will be. You're lucky that I don't have any arms here in VC face. Heck. Oh wait, I'm a little angry that he tried that, especially so soon after what just happened. I try to focus back on how relaxing the motions are, sweeping against the lake clockwise as I cast out again and again. No, I'm not cute. No. The blap says no. If I really did want to catch a fish though, it would be swimming in the water right now. It isn't hard to do. I've done it several times when I was younger in the reservoir. Of course that's less relaxing since you have to actively search for the fish, rather than just sit placidly until one bites your lure. Never killed one before though. Careful, Carl! I went to look to the side, seeing Flynn covering his head and ducking as Carl lures bounces and swings around above him. He didn't let go of the fucking button. Carl shrugged and starts to swing his pole around, trying to unwrap the line from his pole. Well, if you weren't right up against my tail, you wouldn't have to worry about that. I'm trying to show ya. Kapew! Carl launches his lure over the pond so far that it almost lands on the opposite bank. It does, however, wrap tightly around a branch sticking up from the fallen log in the shallows. Unfucking believable. Ah, shit. I've been in that situation too. I hate it when that happens. Justin, no. I'm not cute and I never will be. No. No. Not cute. You can tell Kazuma to get his butt in here. And I'll just say that I'm not cute. Because I'm not. I'm not. He starts tugging and pulling, trying to get it untangled from the log. No, stop. You're gonna have to walk around the edge and get it. What? There's fucking cacti in the edge. There's no way in hell. Too bad. That's one of my last fucking lures. But, come on. Carl's shoulders slump as he looks out across the pond. I sigh and let down my pole. I set down my pole and started stripping my shirt off, followed by my pants. After a pause, I decided to take off my boxes too. It's not like Jenna's here. It takes them a while to stop arguing, now about the plural form of cactus, and realize that I'm now nude. Chase? I'll get the damn lure, just stop arguing. Just wanted an excuse to give a little strip tease, huh? Shut up, we've all seen each other naked. I do try to angle my hips away so that he can't see my ball. No! You didn't see nothing. You didn't see. You did not see that line of dialogue. That never happened. I am not. No. Which is hard to do considering I've got a pretty steep bank to wobble over. I manage it though, and pretty soon I'm sledging through thick mud. Careful, I don't know what the fuck's in there. Didn't you say no one comes here? I don't get his response because I dive in right after that, the familiar feeling of water closing up around me, cutting off the air and sound. Again, it's a huge relief to be back in the water and drift towards the bottom. It's not deep at all, and the water here has a slimy feel that I don't like. Still, it's better than nothing, and I undulate slowly across the pond. It doesn't take long to reach the log, as it's only about 30 feet away. I have to bob a few times to the surface to look around though, since the water's too murky to see there. I'm actually kinda starting to regret this. I try to remember if I have any cuts or sores I'm gonna have to douse in peroxide later. I'm not ready for Flynn's route. Is Flynn's route intense as well? Because Leo's route was pretty intense. So if this is like another intense route, then I am ready for it. That's when one of my paws bumped the log and I bob up back to the surface, wiping a paw across my eyes. I see the line glinting above me, some drops of pond water clinging to it. I reach up and grasp it between my index and thumb and try to follow it to the branch. I feel Carl give it a few tugs. Hey, Chase! Flynn says the leech is at the pond. I hear a loud smack followed by a yelp. Don't fucking yank it around. You want to snag his eyeball? I ignore them as I search for the lure. I continue to follow the line until I lean over the log and spot the spinner, shimmering in the sunlight, the hook wedged into the soft wet wood. It gets pretty raunchy very early. Oh boy, we're gonna be in for a trip then. It comes out easily and I carefully lift it, making sure I'm out of the way of the hook in case Carl decides to yank the line again. When I turn around, I'm glad to see that Flynn's got the pole now. I hold up the lure to show him and let it drop back into the water. Flynn slowly starting to reel it in. I go back in, slowly swimming back to the opposite bank. It's at that point where I see a silver flash to the right of my field of vision. I look over and see a fish, swimming lazily over some plant life on the bottom of the pond. I pause. I would have smiled if my mouse wasn't going to fill with pond water. It would be funny, after all this time with their lures and poles, for me to just pop out of the water, with my fish in the paw. I swim over to it slowly, lingering to the side so I won't block the sunlight before diving down and snatching it up. Listen, it gets scary later on, okay? It gets scary later on, but right now it's like the prelude before everything happens and then all of us get fucked up. I latch in my claws to keep it from escaping as I give a little wiggle of delight. It's been a long time since I've done this, but it looks like I still got it. I turn and start swimming back to Flynn and Carl, and that's when I suddenly feel like I'm being watched. It's not the typical feeling though. This is much, much more intense. I pause and look back over my shoulder, then forward again. It's pointless because everything's cloudy. I can't see more than 10 feet. I sunk down to the bottom of the pond, both of my feet resting in the deep muck as I crouch, trying to figure out where the feeling is coming from. It doesn't help that my head is starting to buzz, a tone building in my head that sounds like an orchestra tuning. I haven't been down that long. I should be running out of air. Of course, I should just swim up to the surface where it's bright and safe, but I don't because this feels too familiar. Think back to when I was 12, playing in the abandoned school with Carl. I was hiding from him in a second floor classroom when I felt this exact feeling. Intense, almost physical, like a hand was grabbing the back of my neck. Fucked up step serial killer, what do you do? I look around again and finally look down at the fish in my paws, and now I know where it's coming from. Before I know it, I'm whipping upwards, breaking through the surface in less than a second, swimming towards my friends. I stumble up onto the bank, splashing water everywhere as I do. I'm not holding the fish anymore. What the fuck were you doing? I try to steady my breathing, hoping that they'll just think it's because I was down so long, rather than me being freaked the fuck out. Pearl's laughing next to Flynn as I start pressing my paws down my body, trying to speed up the drying process. What? Carl shrugs, but Flynn smacks him upside the head again. He's he pissed in the water while you were under. Great. Honestly, I don't really care right now. I wouldn't worry about it. You didn't come up near it, and there's probably worse in there anyway. Speaking of which, why don't you go further up the stream and wash up? I don't want you bringing pond shit into my truck. Okay. I sigh and pick up my clothes, just glad they seemingly haven't noticed anything's off. Luckily for me, Flynn parked right next to the stream, so it's easy to find. Hey, Rocky. Uh, we decided to go with Flynn's route first and then Jenna's. I think that was the order that we said that we were gonna go last time. But Jenna's gonna be the one that we're going with last. It's freezing cold though, compared to the pond, so I get washed up pretty quickly. I gasp as I splash the water all over my body, shivering before I stand back and start squeezing the water out of my fur again. Everything okay? I jump and look back. Flynn's leaning against his truck, his arms folded, watching me. I blush. It was easier to be naked in front of the two of them, but for some reason, it just being Flynn makes it way more embarrassing. I turn back around, pressing my tail harder against my ass as I wave my arms up and down, trying to dry off. Yeah, come for a show? Yeah, I always wanted to see the naked otter mimicking a bird. Shut up, I'm trying to dry off. Flynn doesn't say anything, so I just turn around, not even bothering to cover up paws on my hips. Okay, seriously, you just come to see me naked? He hasn't moved at all, but he cracks a smile. Maybe. Otters, submissive and breedable. What did I say, Rocky? Look, Chase is becoming submissive and breedable now. I don't let me trip up and instead thrust my hips out, my legs spread. Well, there you go. I got a towel in my truck. Oh, yes, the horror, the acid. Listen, I don't know how this story goes, okay? I only know about the previous three. It is a horror story. We just haven't we just haven't been out that long. He's still smiling and his eyes are definitely aren't on mine. Flynn has flirted with me before, even while I was dating with Leo. I vaguely remember there being some altercations between the two. I make my way towards the truck, again trying to angle my hips away from him. You really know how to creep a guy out. I lift up on the handle, but the door isn't open. Hey, unlock the. Ah! Something shoves harder to the on my back, and I'm thrown forward to land a wet splat against the hot metal of Flynn's truck. What the hell? Something tall, skinny, and muscular presses up against my back. Chills run down my spine as Flynn's muzzle sniffles into my ear, a low growling in his voice. You really think you could just tease me like that and get away with it? His paws slide around my body, between the car and my stomach before moving up my chest. I'm frozen that way, paws against the passenger. Listen! Listen! Oh no, let me just show my ass and help the serial killers are werewolves. There's a pause and I think it's because he's waiting for my response. Let's see if I tell him to stop or not. I don't though, and lean my head back against his neck, feeling my entire body break out and goosebumps as rose my chest. Listen! Listen! Listen, this is supposed to be horror. I swear to God, if this is like an actual scene, 18 plus stream, we might have to mark it as that. I did like a little slight. You think this is gonna happen? I stiffen up a little under the mark and lift my tail a bit. Hey! You're one to fucking talk. Um, okay, so yeah. Lovely story that we're in the middle of so far. There's no Nazi forward CGs. Yeah, I know. It's a great one. Oh, what I do know is that we both want it. Oh shit. Oh, okay. We're doing this. We're doing this. Dom his ass? Aggressive as Finn can be, I know he's got a soft side. On top of that, he's caught me off guard, and that's annoying. For a moment, Flynn pauses again as if he's distracted by something, but I don't give him time to tell me what it is. Using my tail, it coils to his thigh, and I drag the reptile around, ending his spin with the back thumping into his truck. I mean, in terms of an otter, I mean, they're submissive and breedable. All otters are submissive and breedable. My paws slip into his open shirt, pinning either side of his buttoned up arms. His grunts, a smirk on his mouth as he leers at me. Well, well, there's the spicy otter I used to know. Forgot how damn the strong otter. Forgot how damn strong otter tails can be. Grin of my own works across my muzzle, and I forgot how soft scales can be. I bring my snout to his stomach and firmly nuzzle into the patch of his orange scales there. Ah, man, I'm probably gonna have to read the other scene later. Flynn's abs flex for a moment, but then relax as I work my broad nose in. His skin is a little coarse, but underneath it's soft and warm. Gray or listen, listen. Not just physically, it's also a really sensitive spot for him. I found this out years ago when I first tickled him, and it's evident that the little lizard bone that slips out. Ah! Fucking otters with cold ass noses. Yeah, do you love it, Flynn? I'm not exactly sure what's gotten into me. It's like a teenage year again with the way I'm acting. I can see Flynn's surprised too, but he doesn't say anything. At this point, his button up has slipped over his shoulders, revealing more of his taut, leathery form. I'm not sure if I should like cover all this up. If I should just leave you guys on the intermission screen as I read through all this. This is an interesting point in the story that we've come across. Very interesting. Maze mouth. Flynn's biceps flex as he struggles with my hold, which must have been an act because he sure as hell couldn't have broken the pin if he tried. His playful struggling only gets me more excited. Yup, yup. Yup. I'm. Okay, well, if that's how this story is gonna go, if that's how the story is gonna go, then I'm gonna leave you guys on the animation screen as they read the book. What kind of horror stories are you reading to call that? Listen, this like I didn't know the story was gonna be this way. Okay, okay, well we're doing this. Listen, none of this has ever happened. Okay, Try as an experience. Yeah. I sort of noticed that when the term I noticed that when the dialogue term came up. Oh boy. Okay. Well, we're still going. It's my favorite though. Oh boy. I did not know. Like when you said that the story was raunchy, at least for Flynn's route, I didn't think that it would be like so sudden. Uh, Demon? Like this never happened, okay? This side of the story it never happened. That's kiss of horror. Right, because this is exactly what horror is. Oh boy. It's funny as it sounds like the sex. Hey man, even you see horror movies, there's a lot of sex scenes, even games. Okay, I think I think we could get back to the main game now. I'm so sorry. I did not realize that we were getting reeled into the mix like that. Can we spit? Can we? Can we what? I'm confused. Still sort of slack-jawed as I stare back at him. What? No. If you want to see this, then you you go on Flynn's route for Echo yourself. That was quite descriptive, I will say that. I didn't I don't think that we've ever had anything like that ever since Carl's route. Slowly his expression becomes more resolute, almost dark as he steps back further away from me, folding his arms. Nothing, just realized that Carl could see us. We shouldn't have done this here. Huh? He's acting like I started this. I'm feeling self-conscious now that he's clearly not interested in continuing. Skinny's a good rider. Yeah. I turn away slightly, one paw against the car as I angle my body so I look back over the shoulder at him, feeling myself get angrier. Hey, you're the one. He's already turned around and headed back towards the pond. I watch you go, feeling bewildered, maybe even a little hurt. Asshole. I mutter under my breath. Did he stop because he decided I wasn't up to his standards? That idea hurts even more as I imagine those are pretty low. I stand there for a little while longer, feeling like a complete idiot before finally heading back into the stream. I picked up all kinds of shit from smearing my body against his dirty truck. Be sure not to let him take advantage of me so easily again. He wrote Jenna's and Flynn's and Howley wrote Carl Leo and TJ's. Oh, okay. We're headed down Elizabeth Street after dropping Carl off, the drive only a little awkward. Flynn's really good at acting like nothing's wrong when he wants to, and I'm totally fine with that right now. I think the only The only time that we ever got anything remotely related to that was on Carl's route for the bad ending. That's the only time we ever got that dialogue anywhere close to it. But other than that, like Leo and TJ, they didn't have anything like that. I told to see a set of familiar ears through the window of the convenience store. Hey, is that TJ? Flynn ducks his head up to look out my window. Looks like it. He flips a U-turn, which isn't a big deal since no one's on the road, and pulls up to the parking lot. What are you doing? Stopping by to say hi? Oh, okay. I guess I need to buy some stuff anyway. Leo had a very brief. Yeah, I do remember that. The one in the bathroom. I looked out the window so Flynn couldn't see the look on my face. I already know that this is a bad idea. DJ is at the register and his ears flicker in our direction before he turns to see us. At first, he smiles when he sees me, but then his ears fall flat as he sees Flynn come in from behind me. Jenna pokes her head from behind TJ, and now I know that this is a really bad idea. Yeah, not that one. The one after that went to the stadium? Wait, was it at the stadium? I don't remember there one being at the stadium. They're a little bit dirty, and TJ has his backpack on. I wave at them to let them know I've seen them before moving towards the back of the store. A gas station. What could go wrong? Anything could go wrong here. It's a gas station. I need to get some bottled water since I don't really like drinking from the faucet in the motel. I hear Flynn say something as he walks up to them, and I silently hope that by the time I get back, everything will be magically resolved. It was after? Huh. I don't remember. I'm gonna have to replay that later on then. The gas house slipped. Listen! Listen! We are. We are an innocent. We are innocent stream. We don't do the naughty naughty here. Because the old corner market was closed, this is the only place where you can buy food, aside from the diner. Looking around the selection, I can see why Flynn takes only a 30-minute drive to Payton to get his food. I grab a few water bottles and head back to the front. My hopes of a resolution are dashed as I see the awkward situation unfolding in front of me. TJ is standing on the other side of Jenna now, keeping her between him and Flynn. No one's saying anything as I get to the register. The air tense as TJ fidgeting with his facial fur. As I pull out my wallet, I look over at Jenna. Hey, how was your hike? Fine. Hot. Ah. A red fox I don't recognize takes the $2 and I hand it to him. I feel Flynn shift next to me, then I hear him take in a breath. Hey, Teach, did you... Hey, Flynn, did you forget what happened yesterday? I cringe. Jenna's tone is sharp and now I just wish I could turn invisible. Huh? Can't you tell he doesn't want to talk to you? Flynn doesn't say anything. The tension is so thick in the air that I can feel like I'm in the back of a slimy pond. The cashier fox pauses in, handing me my change, staring at Flynn and Jenna. Uh, thanks. I almost yell as I reach out for the money as if the volume of my voice will make everyone forget and provide Flynn the opportunity to escape. It doesn't work. We're not kids anymore, Flynn. You can't just treat us like crap and expect us to act like it's okay when you decide that we're worth talking to again. Flynn's hunched over, staring off to the side towards the back of the store. TJ suddenly heads for the door and I can see his face twitching as he passes me. Jenna follows him, past Flynn, before turning around as she reaches the door. If you want to talk to us again, then you're gonna have to act like an adult and apologize. Otherwise, later. She exits, leaving us in the most awkward, painful silence that I've ever heard of in my life. The clerk openly stares at Flynn. I fumble with the change in my wallet, trying to pretend like nothing happened. Do you wanna... Flynn turns around and walks out the door. I watch him get in his truck, then pull out, his face expressionless. For a while, I stare at the empty parking space as I slowly shove my wallet into my back pocket. The clerk, without anyone else to stare at, is now staring at me. Annoyed, I look right back at him. What? He stares back at me, expression vacant. Huh? He's young, but the patchy fur and the missing teeth and the look in his eyes tells me everything that I need to know. I suddenly realize where I am and where I come from, and this alone quashes all the good feelings I had left of the day. This fox in front of me practically embodies all the problems with the small town. I feel such a bizarre, intense wave of hatred for him that I have to leave the store. Pressing the two water bottles against my chest with one arm, I shove my free paw into my pocket, staring at the ground as I walk to the back of the hotel. I'm sick of him thinking that he can do whatever he wants without any sort of consequence. Jenna rustles around on the door before using her hip to close it with a snap as she turns to me. I'll apologize to him once he apologizes for ruining the trip. I open my mouth and then close it again. Of course, asking Jenna to make up with Flynn is a lost cause. It's like asking Carl to take off his beanie. Sitting at the bed, I glance at the bedroom door, the faint sounds of TJ's shower coming from within. I hear Jenna sigh before the bed wobbles as she takes a seat next to me. I'd probably feel bad if he hadn't fucked everything up already. I rub the back of my neck with the hand, trying to think of something to say to convince her. It's just Flynn. It's just that Flynn's always acted like that. He doesn't mean anything bad. Yeah, well, I'm sick of having to deal with it. He needs to learn how to not talk like an asshole. This is one of the reasons why Flynn never fucks with Jenna, or really says anything to her at all. She's the kind of exempt. She's kind of exempt from the whole unspoken pact that we made just to let Flynn's dickness slide. Even sensitive TJ accepts it and takes the playful ribbing well though. Well enough. I hear the shower shut off, followed by the high-powered whoosh of the hotel's cheap dryer. Being a lynx, TJ probably had to stand in that thing for a good 10 minutes before he was even damp. We're adults now. If he wants to get anywhere in life, he needs to shape up. He's getting along alright. Jenna snorts. Yeah, if he's planning to stay here for the rest of his life. I mean, what's wrong with that? I could tell Jenna's giving me a look, but I don't give her the satisfaction of turning my head to see it. Seriously? Anyway, it's clearly a defense mechanism. He feels vulnerable without his I'm an asshole blanket. I mean, you're not a psychiatrist yet, Jenna. I'm not going to be a psychiatrist, but you don't need a psych degree to see it. I don't respond, not seeing the point in arguing about Flynn any further. Jenna stretches, then gets up to go over to her laptop on the small table while I lay back on my bed, closing my eyes. Absent-mindedly, I pulled my phone out, discovering a text from Leo. I forgot. I forgot to tell you that we're having a surprise party for Carl tomorrow. I frowned and typed out a quick response. You're telling us this now? It's not until next month. What's up? Jenna's looking up from her laptop at the expression on my face. Leo says we're having a surprise party for Carl tomorrow. Oh yeah. You knew? Well, yeah. Leo told us on the drive back from the river. My phone buzzes again. Sorry, but we're going to the store tomorrow to get some presents, so don't you worry about it. I frown. This is kinda weird, a whole month early? Jenna shrugs and looks back down at her laptop. Something to do, I guess. I guess. I type another response to Leo again. I have a lot to do tomorrow. I was planning to go get some footage in the morning. Leo's always been weird. Do you follow any of his accounts? He's always posting pics of his food and stuff. My phone buzzes again. I guess I can get the present for you, but you're definitely going to the party and then we're gonna go out to see a movie. I suppose it doesn't sound too bad as long as I'm able to get at least something done for the project. Something is still bothering me about this whole get-together though. Go to the party, but I might need to stay and do some more project stuff. What about Flynn? I said that one with some hesitation, feeling like me and Leo are conspire, cons- conspiring behind Flynn's back. Then I remember what I did behind Leo's back with Flynn and my toes curl reflexively in a cringe. Yeah, technically it's none of Leo's business what I do, but it just changes the feeling of wrongness I have about it. I toyed with the idea of texting Flynn as well, but knowing him, he probably won't respond right now. sorry to you at least. I look up from my phone at Jenna, who's cloaking busily away on her laptop. For what? Her typing pauses. Because pissing Flynn off like that is just going to make this an even shittier vacation. I sigh and look back at my phone, waiting for Leo's response. Well, I don't know. I guess he needed to hear it from someone. My phone buzzes again. I had a talk with him, it's fine. I'm about to say something else to Jenna, but I can hear TJ starting to open the door, so I shut my mouth and close my eyes again. Oh, we're already on Wednesday. Okay, I'm gonna go get a drink real quick. So, it won't take long. It's probably gonna be like a few minutes. So I won't leave you guys on the be right back screen because it won't take too long. So I'll be right back and get a drink. Uh, okay, there we go. Yeah, Mike muted itself again. Oh, jeez. I am sorry, but thank you for that. Yeah, we're gonna get right back into Echo. I've got some bottles of water with me, so should be able to go on for a little bit longer. Okay. Let's see, where were we at? I actually end up sleeping in for the next day. Leo tries to coax me to go along, but I mumble something about needing to finish up my project. The next thing I know, it's an hour later, and the motel room is empty. I, I, ch- I chided myself for the late start and I'm getting, as for the late start, I'm getting a roll out of bed, skipping a shower, and instead gathering up all my equipment. I decided to head to the old school, mostly out of convenience. It's less than a mile up Main Street. It's broken down and vandalized to hell, which looks great through the camera. The original Echo School was built back in the early 1900s, but it was torn down and rebuilt in the 50s. That's the building that I'm looking at right now. Apparently, all grades were combined into this one building, which was sectioned off by 3 floors: Echo Elementary, Echo Junior High, and Echo High. After 1980, there were too few students to keep it functional. They started busing everyone to Payton instead, closing Echo School down. It's a 2-story brick schoolhouse with a basement and about 30 rooms inside. I remember my parents saying that after it closed down, it was a rite of passage to sneak into the school at night and graffiti up the walls. Basically, everyone drew a pentagram. Oh, I see. I set the camera up to get a few shots of the outside of the school, making sure to emphasize the graffiti on the front and avoid the white soccer goal. Apparently, Echo was still put in the field to use. The windows are foggy, and though there are some dozens of squares of the glass missing, it's pitch black inside. I calculate in my mind as to how long I'll be speaking over this portion of the footage, realizing that I probably won't be longer than 10 or 15 seconds. I feel a little flare of annoyance at the thought of how much I'm putting into this and how little I'm getting out. I wonder if this is really the kind of thing I want to be doing and not for the first time. After about half an hour of trying different angles, I finally straighten up, wiping my forehead. The sun is up to the point of warming to the top of my head, and I know that within a half hour I'll be burning up. I start packing up my camera when I feel a different sensation on the top of my head. Slight pressure and a prickle, the feeling that I'm being watched. I look back up at the school building. It's quiet, broken, and stoic, like it's been there for the past few decades. Still, my minds are drawn to the second floor, specifically to the window on the far right. I stare hard at it, narrowing my eyes. Behind the glass in the dark room, something curves out from the right side of the window. It's a lighter color and stands out in stark contrast against the black of the rest of the windows. Could be anything really, but I stare at it. I get the same vibes from it as I do from Carl's horns. I stare at it, waiting to see if it moves, morbidly imagining a face peering out the corner at any moment. Picturing Carl suddenly jumping out to stare at me from the window is kind of funny, but also creepy because I can't imagine what he'd be doing up there. The hairs on the back of my neck stand up as I look around, kind of hoping that someone might be nearby. It's deserted, of course, my only company being the sun-baked road and the dried sagebush. I turn my attention back to the spot next to the window, half expecting that maybe a horn to be gone. It's still there though, not having shifted at all from where I first spotted it. I shifted the strap of the camera bag onto my shoulder and stand up straight before moving a little closer to this building, next to the doors for a better look. Maybe, maybe it's the handle to the something. Maybe it's the handle of an old watering can. Maybe for a class project forgotten long ago. Maybe. I shrug off the feeling and turn to leave. Okay, we're doing Doki Doki Literature Club bullshit. Okay. Something itches in the back of my brain. I look back at the door and I can tell right away that there isn't anything holding it shut. At least not on the outside. Maybe I could get a few shots of what's in there. I walk up slowly to the door, a thin piece of plywood, definitely not what was here originally. A small tin no trespassing sign hangs from it, almost completely rusted though. I get the door intended to push and it instantly gives away, sliding noisily across the concrete ground. Inside, there's a staircase right in front of me. To the left and the right, there are wide, darkened hallways. I'm just crossing over the threshold when I realize what I'm doing. Even if I did get some good footage, I would have probably been from breaking into the place illegally. I'd basically be filming a crime for a school project. The floor creaks above my head and I realize just how stupid this is. I turn back around, making sure to shut the rickety door behind me fully before I start back towards the road. It was a dumb idea, sure, and I come up with a lot of stupid ideas, but for some reason I can't shake the feeling that had been especially weird. I'm at the end of the road where I remember the horn under the window. I don't turn around. So how do you even know that he's here? Big McMuffin's freaking lightning storm? Oh no, is there a lightning storm over there? Where you at, demonic? Ah, shoot. Well, I mean, I hope that you'll be safe at least. I hate thunderstorms, so I I get it. Foxcat, welcome on in. The Blep welcomes you. How's it going, buddy? I'm glad you're here with us. Ah, heck. Well, demonic, I hope that I hope that the storm isn't too bad, and hopefully you'll still be safe. Been going through a lot as usual. Oh, well, I mean, hopefully the stream tonight could cheer your spirits up a little bit. Because that's what I like to do. I like to cheer spirits up. Jenna eyes Leo as we make our way up to walk to Carl's house. As I'm looking up at the mansion, I think of how you'd imagine a lot of things being bigger when you're younger. It's calm, just didn't expect to strike right behind my window. Oh, yee. Just be safe, buddy. Give hugs, not hate. Exactly. That's what we all do here. Not Carl's house. I always forgot how big it is when I see it again. Even kids from Hayden wanted to hang out with Carl because of it. Carl's here like 95% of the time. Besides, how would he get around without his parents? Jenna doesn't say anything as TJ bounces the door and rings the doorbell while balancing a cake against his chest. Everything's so old-fashioned here. TJ seems to have cheered up since the incident a few days back. At least that's what he's been putting out so far. Sometimes it's hard to tell with TJ. We wait a while, but there's no answer. Jenna looks pointedly at Leo, who pointedly ignores her. He's probably asleep. There's my himbo Leo. Oh my gosh, there he is. Finally, at long last. What game is this? Streaming this? We're playing Echo Vox. We're playing Echo by the Echo VN project. And how did we wake him up? I want to ask where Flynn is at, but even mentioning his name, TJ around TJ seems risky. Leo's looking up at the window to the right of the door, about 10 feet off the ground. You know, if I'd boost you up, you'd be able to reach. Are you kidding me? I shift the bag of presents I'm holding, glancing down at the red tissue paper on top. So, where did I get Carl? Leo doesn't seem to notice me, continuing to frown at Jenna. How else are we going to wake him up? Oh, I don't know. Maybe by sending him a text in advance and have him meet us somewhere rather than just go into his house completely unannounced? Leo helps and I can see his face getting red under his fur. Jenna has a fair point, but I still feel bad for the wolf. I mean, he's usually here, isn't he? Let's not fight, you guys. It's supposed to be a party. TJ's genuinely disappointed voice seems to put a pause on the tense mood and Jenna sighs before looking up at the window. Leo, Dad. I mean, wait, what? Exactly. Leo is my bae. I want Leo. I guess I could try. Great. Leo hops down off the deck, but at that moment, a big rusty truck pulls into the driveway of Carl's house. It's Flynn, and next to him in the passenger seat is an unconscious-looking ram. The hell? Flynn parks beside before slowly and quietly opening the door. Flynn, what the hell are you doing? Leo whisper yells as he walks up to the truck, glancing over at Carl, who's leaned back in the seat with his mouth hanging open. Sadly, they're not. Really? Wait, are they not actually owned by anyone? I mean, aside from the Echo project, but. Huh. I always thought that. I don't think so. Okay. I mean, there is a possibility that these Sonos are owned by people. I mean, who knows? From here, I can hear him snoring. Hey, Wolf, if you still want it to be a surprise, you'll shut up. What the hell are you doing? Flynn rolls his eyes. We went to the reservation. Why? Because it's something that we do sometimes. I texted you that we were going to surprise him. Yeah, that's why I'm here. Flynn rubs the back of his scaly head. Just a little late is all. Started winning more than I usually do, so Carl and I stuck around for a little longer. The main cast are all original. Ah, okay. E. You were gambling? Of course. Because that's all the reservation is good for, huh? Whoa. Flynn holds up his hands defensively. What is with all of you? Flynn's eyes settle on me, and for some reason I feel my heart give a jump. Chase, the hell crawled up everyone's ass? I feel like the answer should be obvious, but if Flynn is trying to get things at least somewhat close to normality, then I'm fully behind him. You know how his Leo is. His way or the highway. Leo shoots a glare at me, but I grin at him, trying to lighten the jab. I sense TJ further back behind me, separate from our group. I really wish that I knew what he was thinking right now. Leo lets out a tiny growl before turning back to Flynn. I feel like he could have at least told us. Flynn sighs and glances back at the ram sleeping in the truck. Well, why don't you guys go inside so this whole surprise thing isn't weird? It's locked. Flynn walks over to Carl's side before turning to us. Going through the back. There's a key under the doormat. We get into position at the front of the door. TJ's a little more enthusiastic, hiding against the wall to the left of the door. Party popper in his hand. Just heard my door creaking in my mouth. What's she? Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's funny. We all have those weird odd moments. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna hydrate really, really quick. Alright. I hear a soft clopping along with the low murmur of Carl's voice. The door swings open. Dude, I just want to put it behind me and not that. Surprise! Carl stands there frozen as strings of confetti drape across his horns. For a moment, it goes completely silent and we all stare back at him. Finally, TJ giggles. Oops, didn't mean to get it all over your horns. Look at him, the blep! The heckin' blep! TJ goes around picking the confetti off Carl's head. His hesitant movements making it obvious how hard he's trying to avoid touching the horns. What? Carl finally breaks the awkward silence as he continues to stare at all of us, pushing TJ's hands away to pull the confetti off himself. Could you Raven Juliet so that we. Oh, okay. Leo steps forward, a clearly forced smile on his face. Your birthday. Happy early birthday. Carl continues to stare. Flynn steps up to his side and puts an arm around his shoulder. Yeah, there isn't much to do around here, so we had to come up with something. But a birthday party for me? It's not for another month. Be happy, Carl. This is probably the last birthday party you ever get. Carl opens his muzzle and then snaps it shut, his long ears twitching around. Carl, this is basically just a party. Your birthday is just an excuse to have it. Oh, come on, Jenna. We got gifts and everything. Leo nods at me, and I take that as my cue to lift the bag into the air, grinning sheepishly. I mean, it was Leo's birthday last month. No piss yote. Yeah, we missed the piss yote scene. So what? You just want to regift everything to him? Flynn gives a hard tug on one of Carl's horns and he swats at Flynn's hand with more annoyance than I'm used to seeing him have. Where's it? uh, that's funny. I love it. It could be a last birthday, like you're dying. Oh man, I remember that. I remember something similar to that where Caribou and Gran, I guess it was Gran's birthday, and then Caribou was all like, "Don't worry, you're only 1 year older" or something like that, and then like, uh, that was freaking funny. I gotta find that clip again. And cake. TJ races the cake in the air. Flynn leans against Carl, pointing at it. See, red velvet, your favorite. I'm silently thankful that Flynn is trying this hard to not let Carl freak out. I think we're all a little taken aback how much he's resisting. Carl's shoulders do droop a bit at the sight of the cake, though. Where are your plates? Jenna's over at the cupboards, opening a few and looking inside. To be fair, the whole gang is gonna go the separate ways after. True. True. That hurts. That actually hurts. The kitchen is huge. Second one over. At that point, we've managed to shake off the awkward haze and start moving to the table. So, we got the whole day planned out for you. Yeah? Carl stands out at the end of the table, one hand on a chair as he watches all of us. While I knew Carl wouldn't really be into the idea of a party, I didn't think it would be this bad. I wonder if his anxieties got worse than the internet and the university. We're go we're going out to eat later, then movie. Thought you might want to see the new Luce Lobo film, you know? Carl's hands go up to pull the beanie tight over his head. Well, as long as you don't tell me that the waiters that it's my birthday. Oh yeah, isn't that place by the theater where they basically force you to wear one of those cone hats? Yep, I swear to God, if one of them gets all touchy with my horns trying to put it on. What, you'll blow pot smoke at them? I think that's kind of fun. TJ's struggling to pull the plastic dome off the cake. Leo reaches out to help him, but it pops free at that moment and takes a large glob of frosting off the side of the cake. It's kind of the reason why Leo brought them back together. True, yeah. Ah! Good one, Tej. We can get that piece to Carl so he can stay on his diet. Wow. Flynn put air quotes around the word diet. An awkward silence follows, one that Flynn clearly notices and seems sulk in response. Carl coughs. I didn't have breakfast, so this should be fine. Leo claps his paws together. He mainly wanted that autograph, but we know how that went, right? Like in TJ's route, we were almost hungry for, or no, we were hungry for TJ, but then TJ's Christian, so that didn't go well. While we're having a cake, why don't we start by opening your presents, huh? Carl grabs the bag and unceremoniously dumps it onto the table. He goes through them, giving an obligatory thanks when he finds out who gave it to him. I see my gift for the first time along with Carl. It's a horn band in black and orange, University of Pueblo colors. We used to make fun of the jocks that wore them at Pueblo. Choo choo crunch. Thanks? He looks at me as if trying to figure out that I'm joking or not, and I can only offer a pained smile in response. It's only now that I'm feeling guilty for not getting him the present myself. I'll get him another one on his real birthday. Flynn steps forward at that point. He's mine. Something I got for the reservation. Flynn reaches into his pocket and pulls out something small and hidden in his hand. No, TJ is strictly straight. TJ is straight to his heckin' world. Well, Carl sees his eyes widen. Oh, wow! It looks like a rectangular piece of metal with 2 points sticking out the top. It's not until Carl pushes a thumb against one of those horns and pops open that I realize it's a lighter. I won't look like a total loser when you get blazed. Carl gives Flynn a small smile before flicking the lighter on before snapping it shut. Thanks, man. Don't worry about it. The store owner actually gave me a discount. They still remember me from the smokes I used to buy there. You went all the way to the reservation for that? Cigarettes are untaxed on the reservation. Another thing it's useful for, huh, Flynn? A chill descends over the room again after it had just warmed up. I just went to the casino. The cigarettes were just... Uh-huh. Flynn stopped and frowned, looking confused and hurt. At this point, I started to feel myself wanting to stick up for him. It's mostly ambiguous. The rest of the party is stiff and uncomfortable as Flynn stews in the corner. Finally, Leo stands up and tells us to get out of the car. Wait, get out to the car. I'm stupid. Leo gives Flynn a look, and I can tell he's going to confront him on something. Quietly, I linger towards the door and listen as the rest of them head out. It's never explicitly stated. I mean, TJ didn't like it when we kissed him, so it's obviously that he's either ace or he's just straight. Oh, so now I just can't say anything to him, huh? Flynn. The look on Leo's face is deadly. His eyes are narrowed and his ears are flat against his head and his teeth are bared. Flynn's initial indignation cools and he backs up. You promised me that you wouldn't fuck this up. You said you wouldn't cause any problems. I was fucking trying to make things better. Can't you read a fucking room? No one wanted you to say anything to him. What, so I'm just gonna let things stay like this for the whole week? Well, that's kinda your own fault, isn't it? I'm trying to be nice to him, and did you see Jenna? She's not fucking helping. Hey, Rulameo. I hope I'm saying your name right, but hey, welcome on in. How's it going? The blood welcomes ya. Hope you're having an awesome night, evening, day, morning, whatever time zone that you're in. Rulameo. Okay, I will try to remember that. I'm bad at pronouncing names, so I am sorry on my part. I'm having a good night. You two are goofballs. You know how TJ is, just leave him alone. He's a fucking adult, he's not some little kid you have to protect. That's why it's been years and little shit hasn't manned up enough to say what actually happened. Leo hackles Blair. See? That's what this is all about. You only want another chance at him. Leo's looking at Flynn with pure disgust on his face. It's all good. You could just call me Rue. Okay. Yee. Good to know. Ah yes, Leo, the wolf that spit simps for. Exactly! I simp for this boy right here. Oh. You got a follow? Rue! Ah, heck. Thank you so much for the follow, you heckin' bean. Is this a wholesome? Yeah, we're a wholesome group here. We just like to hang out and then chill to music, just talk about things. We like to do fun stuff here. Demon! Listen! Just when I said... What perfect timing. The second that we say that we're wholesome. Listen, we're supposed to be good. We're supposed to be good, boy. We're supposed to be good beans here. Oh, I mean, unless if you think about this dialogue, it sounds like you think I just want to fuck him. I wouldn't put it past you, slut. Oh! Flynn leans back with a smirk. Nothing about this game is wholesome except for a couple moments. I mean, this game is gruesome, and if we're talking about like detail and like in the script, like they graphically detail everything and all about the fandom. Yeah, well, we're not we're not like that here. I didn't know that the story was gonna be like this. Well then, I'm not the only one with the ulterior motives, eh? Flynn's eyes flick to me. Leo doesn't even say anything in response, instead just letting out a rough snarl. Flynn only flinches a little but doesn't move, just folding his arms, staring hard at the wolf. Look, I don't want to see you talking to him again this week. If you do, I'll shove your fat tail so far up your ass. Buy me a drink for Chase, get out to the car. I jump as Leo's head. I jump as Leo snaps his head in my direction. I'm torn about this. I don't feel like Flynn did anything wrong trying to talk to TJ. But if what Leo suspects is true, uh, uh, I think I need to. Alright, cool. Leo punches the door frame on his way out, swinging the door shut with a smash. Flynn retains his position against the back of the couch, his arms folded, cool and chewing off his toothpick. I don't know, Leo's kind of scary in this side of the story. We both listen to the sound of Leo's truck starting up before it fades as they pull out. I look over at the leftover cake on the table, wondering if I should just clean up to give myself something to do. The glob of cream stuck to the side of the plastic dough gives me a small jolt of genuine sadness at the mess this whole get-together has turned into. Flynn, meanwhile, retains his slouch sulking. Finally, the pressure is too much and I feel a need to say something. So, as if that's his cue, Flynn turns on his heel and stalks out the door. Hey! I scramble to follow him out to the door, feeling more annoyed than sorry for him at this point. Where are you going? Flynn doesn't say anything as he walks up to the truck and yanks open the driver's side door. He slams it shut as I walk up to the door. What the fuck? He finally does turn to me, then shifting the toothpick around his mouth before he speaks. What? What did you mean, what? You can't just take off. Why not? Flynn arches his prominent brow at me and I struggle to think of what to say. I played this route first so I despised Leo for a while. I mean, everyone seems to be like a jerk towards Flynn. And I mean, I get it that he fucked up the meat, but still, your PFPR is so dope. Thank you. That's actually my VR chat avatar. I would like to get actual art. Well, I mean, I do have art of my avatar, but I just don't really use it often. I I mainly just use whatever I have from VR chat screenshots now. Not like he owed me anything. I didn't stick up for him at all back there. Hey, Matrix Shard, welcome on in. The Blep welcomes you. Hope you're having an awesome night, evening, day, or whatever your time zone might be. Was he expecting me to? Okay, this is working. Okay, good. Sorry about that. I got into another sneeze fit. I think I played a game pretty similar to this. Yeah, I mean, all these. I mean, if you played anything from Red Pie that kind of looks like this from like visual novel from a visual novel, then I mean, you probably might recognize it. called Amorous, I think. I don't think I played that. But yeah, I think I mean I the interaction I think it might be similar. I don't know. As far as you know, I just need to get my project done. Yeah, I've seen a few screens there and I don't think I'm gonna be playing that anytime soon. I'm not the one to look for stuff like that in games. I just thought you could give me a ride. Flynn smirks at me. Where? The mine. You serious? I mean, it's a few miles away. You know it's sealed up and everything, right? Well, yeah, but it doesn't mean that I can't get a few shots on the outside. Flynn sighs heavily, and that annoys me more than anything else. I was about to... Yeah, it is. It actually is. Whatever, man. I turn around and start heading up the road, not even sure if it's the fastest way to the mine. For the next 10 seconds, I walk briskly up the road, but Flynn's car doesn't start up. I already know that he's going to relent before he says it. Fucking hell. Hey! I turn around, trying not to smile. What? You know what? Get in. I try not to look too eager as I make my way over to the passenger side and hop in. Think you're smart, don't you? I roll my eyes. I don't think anything. You were the one shooting yourself in the foot all the time. Whatever, man. I stare through the bars of the rebar into the darkness of the old mine. There's a damn cold breeze coming from inside, but all I can smell is dirt. Yep, beautiful, ain't it? Might as well slap that mine jail on our flag. Finds the town pretty good. Lynn leans against the truck, chewing on another one of his toothpicks. There's an unsettling feeling about this whole place, and I'm kinda glad that Flynn is with me because of it. Who knows, I might be a furry. Ew, what are furries? Furries are gross. Ambush was my first VN. Boy, did you have an adventure. My first VN was Doki Doki Literature Club, which, by the way, you guys should definitely check out. Doki Doki Literature Club is an absolutely amazing psychological horror game. And it messes with you as well. Because, like, things get added and deleted in, like, the game files as you play. So definitely check out Doki Doki Literature Club. I haven't I haven't played that much of Doki Doki Plus yet, but I think we do need to get back to it. Oh my gosh. What am I gonna do with all of you? It's a good 3 miles from the town center and the gravel road is deserted. Our only company is a few crumbled ruins and foundations scattered every 20 feet or so. The only sign of modernity is an oddly placed long patch of asphalt and two tall lampposts at the end of it. After I play the other VN's Amorous is kind of shit. Ooh, excuse me. I hope that didn't come up on the mic. But yeah. Uh, that's enough. That's enough bad boy talk for tonight. The town had tried to turn the area into a tourist destination a decade ago, but the recession put a hard stop to that. It seems to be running a theme in the town's history. Progress halted by outside forces. Don't you have some say in that? Mumble absent-mindedly, messing with the settings of the camera. No. I'm the clerk. I just went through the records and shit. It's still hard for me to imagine that Flynn is working in that position. Shouldn't you be there now? It's still before 5. Maybe, but why bother? What? He looks up at me, toothpick bobbing around in his mouth, eyes as wide as shrugs. What, you think anyone's gonna notice? I get paid to do nothing. But won't you get fired? That's an elected position. Well, unelected then? It goes unchallenged every year, Chase. I frowned. Does Flynn have any sense of duty? Flynn takes his toothpick out of his mouth and stabs it in my direction. Hey, I didn't bring you here just to get lectured about how to do my job. I've been doing it for the past 3 years. It was nice to meet you. It's like 3 a.m. where I'm at and I gotta get back. Oh, yes, you should definitely get some rest. But yes, thank you, Rue, for stopping by. I hope to see you again soon. Hope to see you again soon and have an awesome time. Hey, I'll see you around, buddy. You get some rest. Flynn shoves the toothpick back in his mouth. Oh yeah, we do have a Discord running. So if you would like to join that, then it's there for you. Anyway, I was kidding. I'm part-time. I get my shit done and then I leave. I set the camera on the tripod and looked through the lens. Don't me. There's a good amount of satisfaction to get out of teasing Flynn. I mean, your cousin or whatever is the mayor, right? My aunt is, and so what? Isn't that nepotism or something? Flynn sighs heavily behind me. Elected. I'm basically a mod for part-time. Oh, it just seems kinda, I don't know, not like a good thing. As I film, I can hear him really starting to grumble behind me, so I tried to change the subject. Well, good to see that you're still not smoking anymore. Toothpicks helping? Not right now, they're not. When I'd smoked back when he was a freshman in high school, I distinctly remember he was offering me cigarettes when I was like 14. He always gets pissed off when I remind him about it. Pick up the camera and move it to a different angle. Or maybe you could give Leo a few pointers. He doesn't say anything, I just close my eyes when I remember what just happened with the wolf. I filmed for another minute, then turned to face him. I'm sorry about what happened. Flynn doesn't look at me, instead choosing to stare out at the desert. Why? You didn't do anything. But I could have, and this project is why we're here in the first place, isn't it? Flynn sighs and finally looks up at me, his eyes all the more piercing under the bright sunlight. You know, the one thing I can't stand is people apologizing over nothing. I frown. What does that mean? Yeah, you can apologize, but in the end it's all it's doing is making you feel better while I'm fixing nothing. Before I go, you know Sue? Sue Cooner? Do you mean Sue Cooner? I don't know. Hold on. Because I'm in his Discord if I remember correctly. I do know him. I haven't seen him in a long while though. I should definitely give him a visit. But what about Sue? Shrugs and leans against the car, head tilted back and eyes shut against the sun. I stalk over to stand in front of him and I see a smile playing out the edges of his muzzle. Man, fuck you! On the last word I jab a finger in his stomach. His eyes fly open and he grunts loudly, doubling over. Jeez, Chase. I fucking stayed in the shithole for you while you and everyone else is having fun, and this is the thanks I get? Oh, so you stay behind just for me. I just saw we were both in his server. Oh, yee! Ah, alrighty. You stay behind just... Okay, night night for... Okay, yeah, Rue, you get some rest, you take care, and I hope to see you again soon. Tomorrow? I don't know what we'll stream tomorrow, but, I'll see what I can find. I've got a lot of games in my library, so we'll see. Whoa! Heckin' Rear with the sub with the prime sub. Holy heckin' hecky, thank you so much. I did not expect to see that at all. But holy heck, thank you so much. I don't have any emotes yet, but um, I I'm gonna see if I can make some with like just this avatar, because there's a lot of dumb expressions that I want to try out. So yeah, emotes. I'm gonna try to make them a thing, and I mean, for now, enjoy the ad-free viewing. As long as it helps you. Yay, thank you. Again, you didn't have to do that. You are heckin' incredible. Thank you so much. Ah, heck. Maybe, yeah. You get some rest, Rue. I'll see you around some other time. Flynn stays curled up, rubbing his stomach. His face is inches from mine, and he's still got that stupid grin on his face. You're an asshole. Aw, Chase, my heart. He clutches at his chest dramatically. More like your stomach. I poke at it again, but he reacts too quickly. His lithe torso bending out of the way. You can't keep your hands off me, can you? I just fold my arms, glaring at him. Flynn finally straightens up, looking around. Well, I'm not gonna do a repeat of yesterday. I've got a house, you know. Is he talking about how we fooled around yesterday? That he's inviting me back to his house? Or more specifically, his bedroom? I swallow. I don't want to look too eager, like that's the only reason I stayed behind. You know, I'm a little hungry. You want to go out and get something first? Flint snorts as he gazes down on me. What, from the diner? You know how that fucks me up. I think. You said you'd cook for me a few days back. Flint sighs, rubbing a hand behind his head. What is this, some kind of date? No, demonic! No! Well, you said you preferred dinner first before. I trail off as Flynn raises a brow at me. I said a drink. Well, we can have that too. Flynn looks off into the desert again, thinking. Fine, but I'm gonna get you back for that poke. I smirk. Yeah, well. As he turns away from me, his tail comes in and knocks me against her crotch. It wasn't all that hard, but it's enough to make me feel it at the bottom of my stomach. Oh, fuck, come on! I walk bow-legged for a few seconds as I move to gather up my equipment. I don't think that was an equal exchange. That's because you ain't a lizard. Hurry your ass up. Flint's house is a ranch-style adobe home. He moved here only a few years ago, so it's my first time seeing it. It's an alright place. Housemate's quiet and keeps to himself, so it's almost like I have it to myself. You got a housemate? Well, yeah. Didn't need the whole house. Saves a decent amount of money, too. We pull it next to a kind of foreign-looking faded yellow scooter. He's new to Echo. You'll probably like him. He's a big fucking nerd. I help out. The pavement warm against my pads even though the sun is setting. Looks nice. Kind of like a smaller version of Carl's house. Carl's mansion, you mean? On the way up to the door, I feel his thick tail bump against my own, though it's soft enough that I'm not sure if it's on purpose. As we go inside, I'm hit with a blast of warm air that's not much different from what's outside. I air out my shirt. Flynn notices and chuckles. Sorry, but you better get used to it if you want to hang around with the Gila. As I follow, as I, as I follow Flynn into the kitchen, the smell is a bit strange as well. Oh shit, the boy's coming? Who's coming? Kinda like sagebrush, which isn't a bad thing at all. Oh! That you, Flynn? Yeah, I have a friend over. Oh, one of your reunion friends? Flynn opens the fridge. We have any green peppers left? I hear a sliding door from the hallway turn around to a somewhat startling sight. Whoa! Hello? Wow, that is a really cool pattern that they have for him here. A tall lizard comes in, but it's not his height that surprises me, but rather his coloring spotted blue with pale eyes. Yeah, that is a really, really cool freaking design that they came up with this guy. I then realized that he's a salamander, not a reptile. I suppose I've seen brightly colored amphibians in Pueblo, but definitely not Echo, not even in Painted. There's a smile on his face and I try hard not to stare. Dax, this is Chase. Hello, Chase. Hi. I reach out to his offered hand before feeling the cool, almost slippery sensation of his skin. Yeah, sorry. I know you guys aren't used to salamanders around here. He's a Sona? Wait, actually? I cringe inwardly as I realize that he caught me staring like a dumbass. Oh, I don't mind. Mind? Me being a salamander? I'm mortified, but he's still smiling. Alright, Chase, enough making a fool out of yourself. Flynn is tossing ingredients into the counter. Peppers, cheese, eggs. He can't help it if he's not used to it. Well, he's always bragging about going to college. Sometimes it serves you better if you just get out more. I'm not sure what to say at this point, but Dax just saves me from having to try. Oh, please. Daxton sits next to me on a stool. That warm smile still plastered to his face. Yeah, Flynn here was trying to sweet talk a hyena a few months back. I don't know how the ownership thing works. I mean, I would assume that in like a virtual novel where someone's Sona is involved, like uh like with like Clace's games, I would assume that, he would reach out to them or reach out to people that he knows and then, ask if they want to have their Sonas in the game. And then, they like sort of work on the game too. Or no, they had voice actors for them. E- I just assumed that, they reach out to people they know and then they just put their Sonas in here. And then they create like a bunch of different sprites for them. See why between the instances an original character. Yeah. I see Flynn tense up before he turns around, pointing a knife threateningly at the salamander. Don't you dare refer to him as a canine. Like, isn't that something basic that you learn in school? Wow, Flynn. Really? Flynn turns back around with a huff. Sometimes you forget shit. He's trying to play it off, but I can see from the frills on the back of his head flaring out. He didn't care anyway. We fucked, so fuck off. Daxton rolls his eyes before getting up and airing out his shirt like I did earlier. Well, I'm going back to my side of the house. It's a frickin' sauna over here. He pats me on the shoulder as he passes. Nice meeting you, Chase. I watch as he heads back into the hallway, sliding the shut door. It's colder on that side of the house? Yeah. Dual habit residence. Dual habitat residence. I'm stupid. Through Discord looking for sodas to use and then okay the people. Yeah. Wait. Just don't. No. I'm stupid. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that he did reach out to people. Because I mean, it makes sense. Like, who wouldn't want the sodas to be in the game? Actually, come to think of it. I looked longingly over at Dax's side of the house. Get your ass over here so I can teach you how to cook something. The next hour was surprisingly fun, even though half of it is spent with Flynn yelling at me how wrong I'm doing stuff. The new beta, I think it was Coleman Rebby. Coleman Rebby, I think, was the name. Or it is the name, but it's how you pronounce it. He calls it chili rellenos, peppers filled with cheese and meat and covered in egg before being fried. I have to agree with Flynn that it's way better than the diner food, even though the food over there is still pretty good. When we finish, Flynn dumps the dishes into the sink with a clatter before snatching me up by the arm. Hey! Shut up, Chase. I frown, but allow myself to be dragged down the hallway to what I presume is the lizard's room. It's small and simple, but what I'm most focused on is the fairly large bed. He pulls me in to make room to shut the door before pressing. Oh, jeez. I w Okay, hold on. Hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Hold on. Just in case. Just in case. I know this basically asked. I said hi to him. Ah, okay. Yep. This is a scene. This is a scene. Whenever there's heartbeats involved, you know that this is going to be a scene. Yep. 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 Yes, Flynn is a very, very, very naughty boy. Yep, he is definitely a fuck boy. Wow. Okay, so yes, there. This has the second very, very naughty. It's like his only way of showing affection. I guess so. I just didn't expect that there would be like two back to back in this story. In this part of the story, I just didn't expect that there would be this. Well, this is quite descriptive. No, Crimson, I'm not cute, and I never will be. But how's it going, Crimson? You've caught us at an interesting time. You've caught us at a very, very, very interesting time in the story. Pretty much, pretty much. I'm just on the intermission screen so that okay. I think it's over now. Yes, we were in the middle of a naughty naughty. But I think it's over now, so he tenses it for a second, so I continue the rubbing. Nothing. I guess it's about how you go about doing it. He grunts. Doesn't matter how I do it, he's gonna be upset. We're playing Echo Crimson. It is a psychological horror vir virtual novel by the Echo VN. Same people who made Adastra, but quite a few interesting scenes here in Flynn's storyline. You know what this is? Might be easy if you try to go at it more delicately. Flynn takes a deep breath and a what? Wait, are these? Are these still? I played it and I hate it. Why is that? Adastra is one. I've seen a few stills from Adastra, and yes, I can confirm. I I haven't. I mean, I don't know if they're official stills or not, or if it's fan art. But I'm definitely not going to be playing Adastra on stream because I asked a buddy if there is any like stuff that I shouldn't be playing on stream, and he said that there's a lot. So I'm not trying to be. Everyone does, but they still treat me like I'm some sort of monster for wanting to know. Dasher is not safe. Yes. I probably will not. I will most likely not play Dasher on stream. I'm probably going to be playing that by myself. I press down suddenly and he grunts loudly into my ears. He tenses up against my hand again. You don't really think that what you did at the river was appropriate? Ow! I cringe as Flynn. You didn't see that. He doesn't say anything, though we lay in silence for a little while longer. I just. Sydney didn't deserve that. I swallow. No. I mean, I know he was a dick, but he came from a rough place. I just listened, not wanting to say something wrong. Flynn never opened up like this. You guys didn't know him like I did. I stopped rubbing and turned my head up to look at Flynn. His eyes are open, staring up at the ceiling. Chase, I need to find out what happened. Flynn? No, I'm sick of wondering. I'm sick of imagining. He looks down at me, and suddenly the expression on his face is strange. I'm gonna talk to him again. Who, TJ? I hear my voice rise in concern. He doesn't say anything. Flynn, sit up. Don't do that. He glares at me. Yeah, why not? This is probably the last chance I'll get. But I try to think of something to say. Nothing good is gonna come out of it. If he hasn't said anything until now, then he probably never will. We'll see about that. The implication in his voice sends a chill down my spine. Flynn! The lizard looks away from me. What? I'm not gonna do anything. Just talk. And if he doesn't say anything? Flynn stares at the wall. And I guess that's that, but I want to talk to him without Leo there to coddle him like he's some sort of little kid. I put my face in my hands and rub slowly. I know Flynn would never want to hurt TJ, but he can get so emotional. And what if TJ says the wrong thing? Just, just let me go with you when you do. Flynn turns his head back to look at me. Why? I just want to be there to keep things grounded. Flynn stares hard at me. Maybe. He likes you, so maybe that'll be good. He continues to stare at me, and I feel a little uncomfortable. By the way, I love your voice. My voice isn't the best, but thank you. I appreciate that, Crimson. Bah. Makes me a happy blepper. I don't I don't think I have a toggle for the blep here on VC Face, but I don't know if there's actual toggles for that at all. What? You just have to promise me one thing. What? I say it a little bit more slowly. Don't get in the way. Don't try to defend him, even if he's acting all sad and shit. I look back at him, unsure of what to say. I don't want TJ to get hurt, and just the thought of this confrontation is making me feel sick. But I don't want him to be alone when this happens either. The thought of telling one of the others, Jenna or Leo, comes to mind, but I know that'll be a fucking catastrophe if I do. That'll be the end of a lot of friendships. There's still left a chance that they would survive. Either way, I'm going to have to promise him if I want a chance to go along. But whether or not, I keep that promise. We're gonna make a save slot right here. A save slot right there. How could I not stand up for TJ if it goes too far? TJ's sensitive, and if Flynn gets a chance to go at him completely undefended. Wait. Oh. Okay, so we have another save slot, so we're gonna go with this option here. Promise, but only if it doesn't get physical. Flynn's eyes narrow. What? Continues to stare at me like he's trying to see something behind me. What? I'm not lying. Flynn gets a signature snort and closes his eyes again. It won't. I look at him skeptically, deciding not to remind him about what happened at the river. He sighed and stared at my naked. I'm going to the bathroom, maybe take a shower. Alright. I got up onto unsteady feet and headed to the hallway, wondering if I should try. Oh, dang! Hello? What's wrong with you? It's Thursday. I open my eyes blearily, waking up to the sound of something pounding in the distance. I stare at the ceiling for a moment and abruptly prop myself up to my elbows, looking around confused. What the hell? Oh, yeah. Flynn's room. I'd fallen asleep on Flynn's bed, naked after I'd taken a shower. Oh god, this day? Turns out that lizards don't have dryers, so I was left to air dry. I was tired, so Flynn had let me lay on his bed a few towels, and that's where I'm at right now. Guess I fell asleep. Again, the pounding. You know, that's kind of the thing that I do too, is that like, if I'm like in a really warm room, then for absolutely no reason at all, I will fall asleep. That will happen. I look over to my right and see Flynn curled up, his back facing me. I think he's naked as well for a moment, then I see he's got boxer briefs on, the black color blending in with the skin. I think he's a Gila monster, actually. Because it does say that he is a Gila monster in the story. I reach over to poke the rough skin on his scaly back. The frills on the back of his neck flare out for a second, then lay back down. I almost do it again, but Flynn's grumpy, annoyed as hell tone stops me. What? Cleared my throat. Sorry, but it sounds like I don't have to say it because the pounding starts back up again, echoing up in the hallway. What the fuck? Flynn pushes himself up into a sitting position, squinting at the hallway through the door. What time is it? Flynn rolls off to the bed and starts putting on a shirt. I grab my phone, glad to see that it's still half charge. It's 9. At the same time, I notice that I have texts. Several of them. From Leo. Shit. What? Flynn hops around in the room as he tries to pull on some pants. My eyes scan over the texts, realizing who is likely that's knocking on the door. The messages started about 2 hours ago. Hey, I was at the motel and you weren't there. Jenna says she doesn't know where you are either. She says you didn't spend the night there. You and Flynn are the only ones not answering my messages. Are you at his house? Hello? I feel my stomach go into a knot. Fuck. Huh? Flynn whirls on me, annoyed, now fully dressed. The knocking has stopped, but I'm still uneasy about what I've just found out. I think it's Leo. What? This time Flynn sounds panicked. He's been texting me all morning. He thinks I'm here now. I show Flynn my screen, but he barely looks at it. He's got his arms folded and his mind clearly racing. You know he can't find out that I spent the night here. I try to keep my voice under control. I know. Yeah, we both know. Things are basically over between Leo and I, but that doesn't change the fact that this will bring up all kinds of problems in our little friend group. Flynn paces for a few seconds and turns back to me. Well, he's gone now. I can just get Carl to say that he spent the night at his. He's already texted Carl. Shit. Flynn groans and hangs back his head. Well, did he ask him if he spent the night there? No, just that he didn't know where I am. At least that's what he sent in the text. I'll just tell him I don't know and Carl can say you were there. Don't you think Carl would have told? Flynn suddenly reaches out, grabbing my shoulder and throwing me sideways onto the bed. I stare at him wide-eyed, but he's not looking at me. Instead, he's staring at the window behind me. What? He throws his hand out at my face, silencing me. Flynn moves to the window, and that's when I notice a big shadow shifting around back out there. I scramble to the other side of the bed, heart hammering in my chest. Did he see me? The curtain's covering most of the window, but the foot-long gap at the end is just enough to look in. Flynn starts pantomiming in the front of the window, shrugging his shoulders and shaking his head. Finally, he drops his arms with a sigh and leans in to crack the window open. What the hell are you doing? Why the hell didn't you answer the door? Leo's voice is angry. Honestly, a lot more angry than I would have expected, despite the situation. I just woke up. I was knocking for like 5 fucking minutes. I'm a heavy sleeper. You're dressed and everything. I just got dressed. Most people don't go peeking into windows when they don't get an answer, though. Flynn glares through the window. I quietly roll off the bed so I can hide better, even if I'm not in view of the window from here. Listen, I'm just looking for Chase. Have you seen him? No. Flynn shifts his position a bit in my direction as if trying to block Leo's view. Looking for something? Yeah, Chase. Well, he ain't here. Why would he be? He stayed behind with you at the party, didn't he? Yep, then ran off to do some project or something. There's a long pause. Puchicha, I come in for a sec. Can I come in for a sec? I need a drink. What? Go back to your house, man. You saying you don't want me to come in? Flynn sighs loudly, rubbing his eyes. I'm saying I'm tired. It's 10 in the fucking morning. It's 9, but yeah, sometimes I stay up late. Why? Flynn lowers his hand from his eyes and glares out at Leo. Listen, I'm not really in the mood for this right now. Another long pause. You're acting a little crazy right now too. Listen, I'll be on my way if I can come in for a bit. I'm fucking burning up. I see Flynn push his forehead against the glass, eyes closed, frustration written all over his face. Alright, a glass of water, then get out so I can go back to sleep. Fine. With that, Flynn closes the window, watching for a while before sighing loudly again. Alright, stay here, got it? If he knows you're here, we both know he'll kill us both. Yeah. Alright, if for whatever reason he comes back here, hide under the fucking bed if you have to. With that, Flynn turns his and heads out the door into the hallway. That last thing that he said had me feeling like shit. Sneaking around behind Leo's back like this is wrong. Even if I know telling him about it would be worse. Is it my fault that Leo can't get over our relationship? I have the right to do what I want, right? I sigh and press my forehead into the bed. Much Flynn had pushed his head against the window. Staring at my crotch, that's when I realize I'm still naked. I look up, listening. I hear the front door open, followed by some distant mumbling from Leo. If I sneak to the bathroom real quick, I can grab my clothes. Maybe stay there until Leo leaves. At least that way it won't look as bad if he finds me for whatever reason. I get up and pan my quietly to the hall, listening. Truth, how's it going? Welcome Honor the Blep welcomes you. Do you know who Joe is? Joe Mama? I mean, that's That's the joke that. Yep. I got it. Bruh. Yep, I called it. Yes, welcome on in, buddy. The blood welcomes you. Hope you're having a good day, good night, evening, or whatnot. Yeah, we're just chilling here. Hey, Snoop Husky, welcome on in. The blood welcomes you too. Hope y'all are having an awesome night. I can hear some clicking around in the kitchen, then the murmur of some voices. The kitchen is practically out of sight from the hall, which leads to the living room. I stand there for a moment longer, tail twitching as I contemplate if this is a good idea or not. The moment I hear Leo's voice coming from the kitchen again, I quickly tiptoed the short distance to the bathroom. Despite not having come close to at all to being caught, my heart still hammers in my chest. The voices continue to mumble in the kitchen as I start looking around for my clothes. They're folded neatly on the counter and I quickly snatch them up. Hamburger code 97657 extra to repeat. Yes, I am too smart for that. It's 2:50 a.m. I'm watching. Oh my gosh. Ah, Snoop Husky. I don't let me keep you up though, okay? If you're too tired then it's the oh my gosh. Wow, y'all are up late. Pretty sure I wouldn't smell on you. I catch a few words from Leo's that makes my ears perk. Something about smell? Leo smells a lot of things. He has a canine sniff. Oh shit. Did he smell me on Flynn? I'm pretty sure that Flynn hasn't showered since what we did yesterday. My heart rate picks up again as I feel my knees wanted to give out. Where the fuck are you going? This time I do hear Flynn and I know exactly what that means. The only problem is that I'm still naked in the fucking bathroom. Should I unlock the door? Then Leo would definitely know someone's here and that's probably me. Oh fuck! I mouthed the word knowing that if Leo would hear it if I said it now. To Candace? Nope. I don't know who Candace is. I don't think I've ever met someone that's named Candace. I hear heavy footsteps coming up the hall. I definitely can't go back to the room and hide under the bed now. They don't keep coming towards the bathroom though. The movements become somewhat muffled again as they turn into Flynn's room. This is fucking crazy, Leo. If Leo heard Flynn, he doesn't say anything. I anticipate the sounds of Leo ripping up Flynn's room, but I guess he ain't isn't that far gone because things go quiet again. Oh, I haven't seen that one yet. That one's pretty funny. Oh my gosh, you two. You two. I've seen those. Oh, I've seen some pretty funny stuff on Twitter, on Twitch, but I haven't seen those ones. Good ones. Then there's some pacing around along with heavy breathing. You realize I could call the cops, right? I hear the closet door open. I look around desperately, realizing that I don't have much time. The first thing I see is the shower curtain in the bathtub. It's a see-through blue color, so there's no way I can stand behind it and could not be seen. I hear shifting around in the other room again, and the bickering becomes more clear as they step back into the hall. How did the hamburger cross the road? I don't know. How did it cross the road? Panicking and practically numb with fear, I crouch down and pull an open cupboard under the sink. Hand these nuts. Wow, that one was cheesy. Cheesy. Amazingly, there's only a few bottles of cleaning solutions, leaving plenty of room for me to squeeze in. As I quietly can I crawl into the opening. Reaching back out, I pull the door closed, setting my other hand against it as I do so it won't spring shut. Everything goes dark and their voices become muffled once again. I back up against the very back of the enclosure, hugging my knees as I try to keep my breathing quiet. It's not cheesy, it wasn't a cheeseburger. Oh, true, it wasn't a cheeseburger. Wow, you played my own card against me, Crimson. Whoops. It's actually a little while before they come into the bathroom, and I almost jump as Leo's voice booms the small space. His smell is all over your fucking house, and he should probably shower more. There's a small silence, and I imagine that Leo's just giving him a look that shattered surely any confidence that he might have had. Like I said, he was here for like an hour yesterday. And why didn't you fucking tell me that earlier? Because I knew you'd be acting like this. Seriously. Their footsteps shift again, this time with their voices muffling. I dared to let out a small sigh of relief. I could still hear them arguing, but I don't really care enough. Okay. Guess we're following them. You. Okay, now they're breaking the fourth wall. Now they're breaking the fourth wall. You follow the voices down to the hall into the kitchen. Leo is on his way to the door. He stops in front of it, turning back around to Flynn who's following close behind. You're really starting to piss me off, Flynn. And you're really starting to freak me out, Leo. All that still doesn't explain why his smell is all over you. Flynn works his jaw for a moment, eyes narrowed. Were you roughhoused a little bit by the mine? By the mine! Oh, there goes the scary text. I hate that, I hate that, I hate that. You know how it gets sometimes, and it was really hot. Leo's shaking his head like he's tired of listening to what Flynn has to say, like he's tired of everything. And then to have it mixed with that smell. Flynn throws his hands up, exasperated. I jerked off later, sorry, but this isn't any of your business. You know, it's kind of it's kind of a fucking is since I planned this entire fucking thing. Leo's starting to lose his temper again. Why are they advertising R-rated movies on Twitch? I mean, I mean, it's run by Amazon too. Twitch is owned by Amazon, so I guess it makes sense. You know, this isn't like Leo at all. Calm down, Jesus. Maybe he went off to do some more research or whatever, so he wasn't done at the mine. At the mine. Leo's not listening anymore. He's looking to the side, staring at the wall, hackles raised. Listen, I'll drive around town real quick to see if I can find him before work, alright? Flynn, you know you ruined this whole fucking thing for me, right? Thing? For you? What are you talking about? And I'll be fucking damned if I let you do it again. The anger and spite in Leo's face is scaring Flynn. Kingsman. Oh, wait a minute. The King. That movie sounds familiar. I think I saw that, but I don't know. I remember watching something with that name. Leo, what's going on? But Leo still isn't listening. The wolf turns sharply away, yanking open the door. Leo! Flynn reaches out, resting a hand on Leo's shoulder, but at that moment the wolf throws an elbow back into Flynn so hard that the lizard sends stumbling back several steps before falling to his knees. Flynn lets out a hoarse groan, but Leo ignores it, slamming the door shut on his way out. Flynn stays like that, doubled over on the carpet, making soft rasping noises before his breathing finally comes under his control. I mean, Vox, maybe I don't know, maybe it's an age thing here on Twitch. I mean you give them your birthday and then, they just choose the ads based on that. I don't know. I don't know how Twitch ads work. Flynn stays like that, doubled over on the carpet, making soft rasping noises before breathing his spine and coming under his control. He stays there a while longer, absorbing what just happened, knowing that Leo isn't himself either. Yeah, no worries. He also regrets doing anything with Chase. Finally, he looks up right at you. You decide to leave. There's really no point in trying to reason with them. It's been a while since you've been out alone like this. Feels good not being attached. Something about that lizard, Flynn, is helping this happen. You'll have to deal with them later. As you continue to walk down the dirt road, you see him. It takes a while at first because he's so far away. Then you see that thick tail waving back and forth as he approaches you. Can he see you? Probably. It's been a long time since you were attached. But the feelings, the thoughts that you can remember like it was yesterday. The new one is better. A lot more quiet. At least, you made him quiet. It was easier to do than with this one. He keeps walking towards you and you start to wonder if you should turn back. You always snap back eventually. Why not let this play out? Let's see how far this will go. Now that you're this close, you can see water dripping off his body. Even after all, you can make out his face. Angry. No, furious, finally seeing you again. He doesn't like what you did, and who can blame him? He starts to run towards you. You finally stop walking, waiting. He's on you in a second, lunging blunt claws and sharp teeth bared. I keep wondering if I should come out myself. The last time I heard any voices was like almost 5 minutes ago. Still, I realize that they could be both outside or something, and I don't want to come running out if Leo decides to come back in. So I wait, starting to feel sweaty in my cramped position, my nose twitching from the strong chemical smells. I'm thinking that like that was a scene with Chase and Sydney, because they mentioned like someone's like body coming out, but like they have water dripping off of them. I'll probably have to take another shower. After another few minutes, I hear a soft padding up the hallway. I know it's Flynn, but I wait. Another few seconds of silence goes by before Flynn finally speaks. Was that Flynn? He's gone. So, how are we going to explain to Leo that Carl just forgot that I was there? I pull my shirt over my head, feeling kind of gross putting back on my musky shirt. Flynn stands in front of his dresser's mirror, having just finished putting on his tie. He's currently picking at the scales with a pair of tweezers. Carl forgets everything, especially when he gets. Oh, I have not seen him without his tie before. Wow. I wasn't a. Wait, what? Like, I know that the scene with like them in the living room wasn't a dream, but the whole other scene wasn't a dream either? I'm just getting a crush on Flynn. More like Flynn is getting a crush on us. He's been hitting on us this whole time. Flynn's been acting kind of distant after the whole Leo incident. It's not hard to imagine why. I'm feeling the same way. Leo almost probably finding out, had put a damper on his stupid excursions. It really put into perspective how immature we were being. Alright, so I'll just say I spent the night at Carl's, then left in the morning to do some filming, then came back. When told me to text all of this to Carl before I go over there. The only response I'd gotten so far was a short, "What?" We don't got any other choices. I guess not. And Chase, we probably shouldn't do this anymore. Yeah, I know. Lynn glances at me through the mirror, then returns to picking at his skin. He clears his throat. I know this is kind of gross, but it's fine. We all got our own gross things to deal with. Can't go into work looking like I got snowed on. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't never really get that bad, but Flynn breaks off awkwardly as he gets back to grooming. It's weird seeing him this off, but again, it's not unwarranted. I sit on the edge of his bed, texting Carl again to try to get him to at least partially understand what the plan is. After a couple of minutes, Flynn clears his throat again. Listen, Chase, you ever feel a little bit like not yourself? Huh? I look up and see that the lizard is looking at me through the mirror again. He quickly turns his attention back to his picking. I don't know, like you're not fully in control of what you do. I frown. Is Flynn trying to get at something? Explain his own actions? Does he feel like he wasn't in control of what happened between us? No, at least I don't think so. Flynn finally puts down the tweezers and turns to me, leaning his rear against the dresser. I've never felt like you're not yourself. Though I'm not totally sure as to what Flynn is getting at, I decided to humor him and think, I guess I guess after what happened when we were kids, it didn't feel right. After Sydney? Yeah. I try to avoid talking about it directly, but Flynn doesn't seem to be bothered right now. You probably remember that I saw a therapist after, because I felt so different and it scared me. Flynn nods. Did they figure it out? Kinda. If I remember right, they said it was a dissociative thing? How's that? Like sometimes when something really traumatic happens, your mind sort of distances you from yourself to protect you. I shrug. Something like that. I'm not really good at psych stuff. I almost tell Flynn to ask Jenna, but of course he can't. So did they fix it? Not really, but I got used to it, I guess. Just like the new me. And you're okay with that? I shrug again. I mean, my therapist said that really traumatic things can change the way your brain works forever. You just learn to live with it. That doesn't sound good. No, but it's a part of life. I think we all changed. Yeah. I don't go into detail about how it got worse over time. The whole not feeling like myself. How I felt more and more like my personality was bleeding away. And I'm a completely different person now than I was 10 years ago. Because in the back of my mind, I just wonder that's what it's like to grow up. That you become less like you as you were a kid. Happy, carefree, complete douchebag. It turns into a hollow shell of that. I can still feel Flynn looking at me, so I decided to bring up something else that's just as uncomfortable since we're already there. So, when are you planning to talk to TJ? Flynn's silent for only a second. Saturday, at the end of your trip. I'm not sure if that's the best idea. It doesn't leave much time for me to make amends if things turn sour. Realizing that this route deals with a specific theme? I mean, I haven't gotten it yet. Think it was Leo's route? Yeah, Leo's route was really, really intense. I remember that. The bad ending was absolutely traumatic. Like, I still remember that ending. It was horrible. Not in the bad way, but like, it's so horrible that it's good. Like, kind of way. Like, it like gave me it gave such a huge impact on the way how I saw Leo and Echo, which they most likely will. But then I guess that means we'll easily be able to just leave as soon as it's over. Lynn's still looking at me, so I abruptly stand up, putting my phone back into my pocket. Anyway, you ready to go? I don't want to make you late for work. Sure. Flynn finally straightens up, walking across the room to grab his keys. I'm just glad to have somewhere to go now. Flynn feeling off like this is just one of the most awkward experiences that I've ever had. I like how both of those endings play off each other. I mean, I do like how in Leo's ending, the bad one, it kind of correlates to, like, I think every single ending that we've come across, every bad ending that we've come across, it's always been like it's connected to whatever urban legend that goes around in Echo. And then, eventually they share the same fate, whether it would be Chase or the main characters of the storyline. Then the good endings are sort of like, you beat this urban legend and you live to tell the tale. Probably because he's usually so good at making things not awkward. So with that, Flynn takes me to Carl's house, dropping me off before heading to work. I sit quietly next to Carl on the couch as he plays his video games, some kind of first-person shooter that I've never seen before. I'm not all that into shooters, but this one is pretty good. Yeah? I try to act interested as I browse through my phone. I've already texted Leo apologizing and telling him that my phone had died. It's weird how quickly this lie has gotten out of control. I'm making things up as I go at this point, and I'm amazed at how easy it is. Leo hasn't responded, and I doubt he believes any of it. It still gives us both room to pretend, though. Yeah, man, I think it's the sci-fi element. I could never play one of those World War shooters. Same. Carl clicks around with the controller for a little while longer. You alright? I sigh loudly, finally tearing my eyes away from my phone. Yeah, I'm good. Because you don't seem good. I don't respond to that, instead choosing a zone to whatever happening on the screen. What's with this whole story anyway about you spending the night or whatever? I debate if whether it's worth telling Carl or not. We go along with it either way, but keeping all these secrets is starting to make me feel sick. Well, I spent the night at Flynn's. Leo found out I wasn't at the motel, so he came looking for me. Ah, shit. Did you and Flynn, I let the silence hang for a while. Carl snorts. Wow. Come on, Carl. No, I don't mind. Just seems kinda weird. How so? I feel myself get defensive. I'm not really in the mood to be judged by Carl. Yeah, he's cool and everything, but his life, let alone his sex life, doesn't exactly put him in a position to do so. Well, you just barely got here like 5 days ago and already... I sigh. Ugh, you know how Flynn is. Yeah, I do. So you shouldn't be surprised. But I mean, we've known him since we were kids. Just feels a little bit... Carl, I'm not really in the mood right now. Carl goes quiet for a few more minutes, the clicking buttons on his controller the only sound. It doesn't last long though. I saw you guys at the river a couple days back. I saw you too. I saw you guys. Carl, I just said I'm not in the mood. Carl shrugs. Just saying, I already know. It's cool. I keep quiet, hoping that will get Carl to drop his stupid subject already. It doesn't work. But I get why you gotta keep it from Leo like this. I pulled my phone out to see if I got a text from Leo yet. I haven't. Me and Leo, we don't hang out all that much. But I think he tries to. He talks about you a lot. I try to ignore the guilt that's steadily building up inside me. Did you smoke today? Because you're being real talkative right now. I only asked because I didn't smell it. Usually it's pretty strong. Actually, I had an edible this morning. Carl giggles for a good long while after that. Oh, really? I manage my brow with a thumb and a forefinger. Normally I get along great with Carl, especially when he's high. But after this morning, basically everything's getting on my nerves. I usually hate that shit, but I don't know. Guess I was bored today. Those things shoot me to a fucking space. Guess it explains why you won't shut up. Hey, am I pissing you off? I immediately regret what I just said as Carl puts the game on pause. No, just had a stressful morning. With Leo? Carl starts the game back up, giggling again as he shoots a space marine in the face. Finally, a text from Leo. Good to know. Another one immediately follows. Let's hang out sometime soon. But Flynn cares about you too. Yeah? I text Leo a quick affirmative, though I'm not really sure when the hangout is gonna happen. Yeah, I wouldn't stop talking about you when we drove to the reservation. Really? That actually did seem like really out of the ordinary. What the hell would Flynn have to say about me? Carl shrugs. A bunch of stuff. He wanted to buy you something for the reservation, but thought it might be too weird. Flynn? Buying me a gift? That's kinda weird for Flynn, I thought it was kinda cute. What else did he say? Carl seems to think hard while he continues to shoot guys on the screen. He twists the control this way and that, bumping into my shoulder every time. Said he seemed to have grown up a lot, that you're way different than what you were as a teenager. Yep, really cute. Carl's tone seems slightly annoyed there, but I don't really care enough to ask about it. By the way, how's your project going? Being reminded that I have an entire project to do doesn't ease the knot that's formed in my stomach. Not that great. Still need a lot to film and research. What kind of research? Stuff about Echo. Like history stuff? Yup. Carl plays it well along with and sets down his controller. My mom might have some Echo history stuff in the cellar, but he pauses. You know Flynn is like the records holder, right? The clerk? Yeah. I already know what Carl is getting at, and honestly I want to kick myself for not thinking of it in the first place. Carl turns to me, a loopy grin on his face. Those edibles really do fuck with them. So let's go get some records from him. Probably better than digging around in my basement. Well, yeah, we should, but I don't even know what to get. Don't worry about it, dude. I go down there to shoot the shit with him all the time. We can ask him. Things aren't exactly cool between Flynn and I right now, but it's something to do. I'm so behind on my project at this point, I don't have any excuses. We pull into the gravel parking lot in front of the city hall. The stucco structure looks a hell of a lot more weathered than I remember it. Tarps drape the roof and one of the windows is blacked out with plastic. City Hall is probably the oldest building still standing in Echo. From what I read in the county's website, it served as the town's post office back in the early 20th century. Before then, it was an outpost used as an intelligence operations center during the years leading up to the Marmillion Rebellion. Government spies were planting in the nearby settlements from Colville to Payton and delivered their reports on political agitators at this outpost. They actually kept a priest on hand to help reaffirm the spies' faith in true word of the Christ. It's weird to think that Sydney was the last Mormon I knew. Are you sure that Flynn works here? I exit my car, watching Carl stare ahead. His eyes are half-lidded, the ram seeming to stare for miles beyond the building in front of us. Oh yeah, I'm sure. Alright. Carl doesn't move. Are you gonna come out? The ram blinks slowly, his mouth starting to hang agape. He shifts his bloodless shot gaze towards my torso. Nah, my parents would flip. He flops his wrist in front of him limply, his tone tinged with effeminacy. Effeminacy. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. Of the car. Yeah, just give me a sec. Carl reaches down, unscrewing the lid from his water bottle and taking a few hearty glugs. When Carl grabs the car door's handle, he hesitates. After a moment, he looks at me. He's completely silent, sucking in his cheek on one side. Carl? Finally, he speaks. I sort of agreed to come without considering that I'd be talking to anyone but you and the crew today, let alone the mayor and stuff. I'm still stoned as balls and I look like shit. He laughs in some self-depreciating fashion, visibly sheepish despite the THC still flowing through him. Think I might just chill here in your car with the air conditioning and Hagen tactics. He holds up his phone and I think I could just barely spot the icon for it in a sea of other game apps. Carl does look high, though he doesn't appear any worse than he usually does. Telling him that probably wouldn't do much for his confidence, though. To reassure him. Carl, man, you're acting pretty sobered up right now, and you don't smell like weed too fiercely, at least to my outer senses. Really? Your outer senses must be pretty dull. Your BO is overpowering it. Carl hastily sniffs himself, then tries to air out his hoodie from the bottom by flapping it up and down. I'm just messing with you. You're fine. I have some sunglasses in the glove box to cover your eyes. Carl sighs, tugging open the dash. A few crumpled receipts, my registration slip, an insurance brochure, and a pair of slightly dusty sunglasses are visible in the compartment. Ah, they're a tortoiseshell. Isn't that kind of girly? What? Guys can wear tortoiseshell style ones. It's not like polka dot or something. My mom wears these colored sunglasses all the time. I literally can't see these without picturing her. Well, like, that's your personal thing. No one thinks that. He slides them onto his face. They rest somewhat awkwardly on his sizable snout, unable to settle in place neatly. Damn it, your nose is too big. Carl pulls the shades off his face and limply tosses them into the dash, leaning back into the back seat with a long exhale. Dude, I think I should just stay in the car. Seriously. I need your help with some of this stuff, Carl. I'd feel all awkward if I was in there for hours with you just sitting here waiting for me. fine. I just get in your way. I'm not really good at the sort of research stuff. There's a difference between exploring old records for interesting info and frantically searching for stuff online the night before a paper's due, Carl. He doesn't budge, the ram staring at his phone in his lap. What's the matter with you? You look fine. Can you just stop putting on a spotlight for me, dude? What? He idly taps at his phone, though he's just blankly flipping through the screens at the moment. Carl. The ram pushes open the car door and steps out, looking away from me. Alright. Thank you. He's acting absolutely bizarre. Part of me hopes that this is just a weird side effect from the edibles from this morning. We'll talk later, okay? Carl snaps, shrugging his shoulders. He's trying to act nonchalant. Sure, dude. What do you want me to do? I do my best to attempt at a reassuring smile. For Carl's sake, I don't feel too cheery at the moment, though. Well, first we should get the tripod and camera out of the trunk. Then we can get some B-roll of the building while we're here. The camera is kept separate in a padded hard case. See if you can get the tripod set up with the camera on it. Gonna head inside and say hello. Get the permission to film real quick. I pop the trunk with the button on my keys. Carl looks toward the equipment with a thin-lipped expression. Okay. There's a bubble level in the tripod. Just make sure that the bubble is at the center when you set it up. That means it's level. That way our shot won't be all crooked. Once it's good, you can just slide the camera so that it's hooked into place at the back of the stand. Make sure that it clicks. It means it's locked. Uh-huh. Carl digs his paws into the insides of his hoodie, still staring into the trunk. Okay, I'll be right back. Leaving Carl, I head toward the front door. I'm still not sure what's up with them, but pressing him on it now doesn't seem like a good idea. Stepping into the city hall, the first thing I notice is how dry the air feels, like there's no ventilation to speak of. It makes me feel like I'm standing in a really slow baking oven. Half of me wants to run out and jump into the first body of water I can find, while the other half is just wanting to curl up in a ball and nap. Faint droning of a voice on a speaker is audible. It sounds like some sort of outdoorsy hunting and fishing podcast. Chase? Flynn's tall. Flynn's tall, leering form emerges from one of the doorways, a stack of envelopes in hand. We stare at each other for a few seconds as the reality of what we've done with one another is hanging pretty poignantly in the air. Hey. He exhales, his demeanor shifting. His raised shoulders get more lax and his tail settles on the musty carpeted floor. What? He looks back through one of the doorways beside him, then back to me, his scaled brow furrowed. For a moment, my mind blanks, and I'm not sure what to do with my paws. It's really stuffy in here. Flynn looks at me questioningly. The only people who work here are reptiles, so we keep the habitat all dry and such. His gaze shifts back to the doorway again before returning to me. There's something you want? I'm pretty busy. I clear my throat, crossing my arms over my chest. Yeah, I was hoping to get permission to film around City Hall, take a look at some records. What records are you looking to go through? Well, I don't know. Flynn stares at me with an indiscernible expression. I'm just looking for anything I can use in my report. So you don't have a parcel number or a date or anything? You just want to what, browse? Well, I mean, maybe you could point me in the right direction. It's the City Hall clerk after all. Flynn lets out a raspy exhale, moving to take a seat in his swivel chair at the front desk, his tail coiling around on the base. Alright, the reading room is off limits on account that monsoon season took a portion of its roof cover last year. I can set you up in the mailroom with the microfiche and the computer for the time being. He grasps the edge of the desk, staring at the tips of his fingers. You need to check with the mayor to see what all you've got access to. Flynn's about to stand up again when another gala steps into the room. She's slightly overweight, decked out in khaki shorts with matching outdoorsy button up top. Despite being indoors, she does a large sun hat, also khaki, with a vibrant floral bandana around her neck. This must be the mayor, Flynn's aunt. I thought I heard another voice in here. I catch a whiff of perfume. strong sweet pea scent that seems to fill the room. Her slitted blue-green eyes focus on me. It's almost like she's sizing me up. Are you from the Great Committee? The Grant Committee? I pause, quickly shake my head. No, I'm sorry. She visibly seems to deflate, her brow lowering and her eyelids drooping to a half-lit lull. Ah, I'm Chase, Flynn's friend. That's so. Another one, eh? She looks over toward the Flynn who's currently rubbing his temple. He responds quickly. An old friend. Childhood. You met Chase before, I'm pretty sure, or at least you've seen him around town. She seems to think for a moment before a look of realization comes to her. Oh, I almost didn't recognize you with that thing on your chin. I most certainly remember you. I blink, reaching up and covering my goatee instinctively. You were the one who was always palling around with the red wolf fella, Leo, weren't you? Gay couple, right? I chuckle a bit sheepishly, nodding. Having spent the past 3 years at Pueblo, I'm not used to people talking about me like this as I once was. Yeah, sorta. I mean, yes. She exchanges a glance with Flynn, who's looking a bit tense. Chase is doing the school project of the town and wants access to the records we got on hand. He filed a request form yet? No, he just wants to browse, I guess. Well, it's only public record stuff that I want to take a look at. You still have to go through the process. Usually the requests are just for a parcel at a time. What sort of school project for is this for, Chase? Well, I'm a journalism major at the University of Pueblo. After creating a documentary-style video report on something, I chose Echo. Ah, you aren't aiming to smear us to the general public, then, are you? Her tone suggests she's joking, but that has some same intense look as Flynn has, where I can't really tell for sure. No, Mayor. You know, we got a great application that we're interested in putting out there that requires a video dealing, detailing the sites around town. Would you be interested in that sort of thing? Oh, well, maybe. I don't know. I guess I'd have to know more about the project. Honestly, I can't imagine the sheer amount of sugarcoating I need to muster to create a positive report about this place. Fill this out. Flynn is pushing a form across the desk my way. The mayor clears her throat. Chase, where it asks for a lot parcel request, can you just put it all inventory? Alright, will do. As I take a pen from Flynn and begin to write, I see him looking up to his aunt. All inventory? Yes. Alright then. He huffs some idly. The podcaster is on Flynn's computer. Speakers are going into detail, creating complex fish nets and trappings. Dusky, I'm not cute. But how's it going, buddy? Welcome on in. Whew, I'm actually getting a bit tired. It's already 1:30. Shit, that's the latest I've ever stayed up to do a stream. I'll leave you two boys to it then. Welcome back to Echo Chase. It's good to be back. Flynn steadily rolls his eyes, turning back to his computer. The maid just smiles before heading back to what I assume is her office. Finish the report. Pushing it back towards Flynn, he squints at it for a moment before speaking. Any word from Leo? It's cute that Flynn just listens to a fishing podcast in his spare time. Yeah. Love you too. Ah, heck, Dusky. You're too sweet. The topic change catches me off guard. I look to see Flynn leaning in close, his voice lowered. Yeah, he believed the whole spending the night at Carl's story. Carl went along with it. Uh-huh. Ended up telling him the whole truth, though. I guess I just started feeling real shit about all this lying. Flynn leans back in his chair suddenly, clenching his eyes shut tight. He opens his mouth like he's going to say something, but merely shakes his head. Chase, you fucking realize that when this week is over, you get to go back to college land. And I'm stuck here with the results of all your shitty choices. You know Carl as well as I do. He wouldn't go telling Leo to start drama. And anyway, he saw us, by your truck. Flynn's eyes open and he just stares at the ceiling for a long moment. Fuck it. Let's get your musky ass set up with a goddamn county guest login so you can access our GIS maps. He scoots back over to his computer, beginning to type something again. Nah, you. I catch a glimpse of his desktop wallpaper. Looks like some sort of waterfall surrounded by a lush evergreen forest. It's kind of blurry, like a smaller image stretched to fit the screen size. I also see a few transparent stock image logos overlaid on top. We've got physical records. The real ones stored in the mailroom, though I wouldn't say the shit very browsable. Shit is very browsable. Some religious historical society types came by 8 months ago and helped us archive a lot of it. They're all a bit labeled in manila folders along the south wall. Computer picking at the keyboard for a clerk. He's not remotely a fast typer. Ah, damn, I forgot to ask permission to film here. Flynn grunts. Permission granted. Go do that while I get this fucking thing working. Glancing back at the screen, I see incorrect password, 2 remaining entries before lockout flash up. After looking back at his keyboard, it takes me only a couple seconds to figure out what's wrong. Flynn? What? He snaps at me, and I can see his pointed teeth between his scaled lips for a moment. Yeah, you have caps lock on. Flynn pounds the caps lock key with some extra force before returning back to his typing. Thanks. Now fuck off for a bit. I stare at him and I can't help but feel a twisting sensation in my chest. Not sure if I expected him to treat me differently after doing what we did, but I definitely didn't think he'd treat me worse. I tried to think up something to say to make this right, make this not awkward as it seems to be getting. Yet the longer I sit here, the more uncomfortable he seems to get. I guess I'm just leering at him like a creep right now. Fuck. I get up and head out, deciding to keep my mouth shut. It's the best course of action for the time being. Okay, I am going to call stream here. Because I am tired as heck, as y'all might be able to tell. Yeah, it was a lot of fun today. So, with that being said, let's see. Who do we want to go raid tonight? Let's see. Stream, by the way. Thank you so much, Crimson. Have a good night. Thank you. But yeah, let's. Uh, let's see. Bup, 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 bup. You know what? I'm gonna go say. I'm gonna go raid Puppet Bandit. He's an amazing heckin' awesome bean. And he actually helps out quite a bit whenever I'm like making DJ sets as well. So I think it's right to go and raid him. Let's see for the raid message. Let's see, that'll be our raid message for our entry over there. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Neon Unicorns, thank you so much for the stream. Thank you for stopping by. We do have a Discord running with a heckin' lot of people. The community is absolutely amazing, and y'all should definitely come in and stop by and say hello. And on top of that, y'all get notified of when my streams come in. But yeah, it's been fun. Thank y'all so much. Hopefully we'll see each other tomorrow. It's been real. Peace.